Warriors.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, November 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 82. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron joins us at 7:30. Derek Stingley Sr. stops by at 8 a.m. Nick Underhill talks Saints at 8:30, presented by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette. Remember, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in, tweet them, ask them in the Bayou 40 YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get those answered at 8:15. Follow on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel, and subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online at 104.5ESPN.com. We're on YouTube on the 104.5 ESPN station, one of your smart speakers this morning. Good Tuesday morning to you. Jordy Collada, T-Bob Hebert, Matthew Musso, and Danny Cardenas here with you until 10 a.m. this morning, getting you set up for a weekend of football, maybe?
Well, a weekend of football. Now, whether or not LSU football will be involved, only time will tell.
SEC football, maybe, in trouble. Look around. Mississippi State and Auburn postponed. We'll get you some more of the headlines coming up here on Off the Bench. Looks like LSU is flirting with being under the numbers possible to play. We'll ask Coach Ed Orgeron any update at 7:30 this morning. Coach O will be here. You got a question for the LSU head football coach? You know the drill. Hashtag Ask Coach O inside of the Bayou Ford YouTube chat app. 8 o'clock this morning, we'll talk to Derek Stingley Sr. Every Tuesday morning, that conversation compliments of City Cafe. Remember, City Cafe can take care of your Thanksgiving dinners for you. You want to get online, citycafebr.net. You can pre-order that. 8:30 this morning, we'll talk New Orleans Saints NFL. The Saints dominated the Bucs on Sunday night. We'll talk to Nick Underhill, what he saw in his film breakdown coming up at 8:30 this morning, as Underhill every week compliments of a former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. How we feeling, big fella?
I feel great. Just still basking in the Saints win. Reading Nick and Larry Holder and Jeff Duncan, everybody's breakdown of this game. If you're a Saints fan, it's very fun. I guess I'm feeling not as good about LSU Alabama this weekend, but we'll kind of get into whether or not it's the best. Like I don't know. Do you actually want them to play as a fan? And think there are different considerations considering the context of you. And also, am I crazy, boys? Or
Yep.
I don't know if you're gonna know this, Jory. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Did the Xbox Series X and the PS5 come out today? Is that true? Like today? Oh, wow. I mean, okay, let's go. Shout out to everybody who's out there playing on the new consoles today. I'm jealous. I hope you're enjoying it.
Shout out to the equipment staff over at LSU football for upgrading the set here. I got to say the OTB set overnight has officially become the hottest set here at ESPN Baton Rouge. A brand new LSU helmet addition to the set to join the Raging Cajuns, the Tulane Green Wave, and the Mud Dogs. It has been confirmed by the Saints staff in New Orleans that a helmet is en route and should be delivered to Guarantee Media today. There are a couple of decisions to be made by the off-the-bench crew on what helmet stays. Do we go with 5? Do we go with 6? What is too many?
I think
clutter?
Look right here. There's an obvious missing middle, right? And whether that's, I think maybe you do the middle, whoever's most successful, like the Saints, you go in the middle. I think you have 5 helmets. I think we bring in the Saints, we bring in Southern, we bump Mud Dogs, game over. Easy money.
I think you try it with each of them one day and see which looks the best.
All right.
Before you just say 5 and only 5, try it with 5, try it with 6, see which one looks better, and move on.
As a general studies major, who has taken a landscape architecture class. I'll have you know, Musso, that my aesthetic instincts are pretty spot on.
Sounds like it.
And I think that 5 is going to end up being premier. But I am down to let that be borne
Trial
out
and
through
error.
science and experimentation, something
We're a
that we
science
believe
show.
in. Yes, we believe in heavily here on OTB.
I pitched to Danny before we went on air, maybe a Christmas ornament look with a couple of strings hanging from the ceiling here with the helmets hanging, maybe, where it doesn't look like they're hanging on our head. Aesthetically, it may work. Here are your headlines on this Tuesday, November 10th. We'll see.
A little bit for your britches,
Hey,
maybe.
hey. I mean, the helmet collection. I hate to leave one out.
It would look like they were floating.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
The LSU-Alabama game on Saturday night in Tiger Stadium could be in jeopardy as the Tigers are dealing with a COVID-19 outbreak. Head coach Ed Ogeron confirmed Monday that the Tigers are dealing with an outbreak and could have several players out this Saturday. He did not specify who or how many players could miss the game, but suggested it could include potential starters. Ross Dellinger yesterday with Sports Illustrated said that the outbreak stems from a Halloween party the Tigers went to on the night of the Auburn game. Get out and celebrate from being back from Jordan-Hare.
I mean, come on. What do you want these kids to do? You want them to just lock themselves
No,
in their
not at all.
room because
Not
they're
at all.
tired? I mean,
Not at
I
all.
get it. It is what it is. But yeah, this is just the reality of this year, right? I mean, you're about to read other headlines with other outbreaks, and it turns out it's real hard to keep college kids from going out and drinking together, especially like Notre Dame right now, right? They're in the midst of a championship hunt. They have a little added motivation to when they win that game to like hurry up and try to run off the field like Coach Kelly told them and stuff, right? Like they have a little added motivation to really lock in. Where is LSU's motivation right now to lock in and avoid COVID?
I would think that the motivation would be to find the COVID numbers and get the hell out of this game. Discussions between the
we'll talk
schools
about
and
it
the
next.
SEC on whether to play Saturday's game have already begun, according to several sources. If the game is not played on Saturday, it'll likely be canceled since LSU's only other open date is December 12th and filled with the Florida game. Here's Ed Ogeron yesterday giving that update in his Monday presser.
Some of you may have heard we're dealing with COVID and contact tracing. Can't go into detail. It's a very fluid situation. I can tell you that we do have players that have got COVID, and we do have some players that are quarantined. I can't tell you the numbers. I'm going to let the doctors take care of all that.
How about Jontre Kirkland at quarterback? Are you hyped? I mean, I know none of that's confirmed. I'm putting that out there, I'm saying, because when you think about it, if you're light on the quarterback numbers, you need somebody that can play. He played in high school. He played scout team quarterback on this team for years. Look, I'm down for LSU to try to go fully okey doke and just come out running the triple option with Jontre Kirkland on Saturday.
Saturday's football game between Auburn and Mississippi State has been postponed because of COVID-19 issues within the Bulldogs program. This a statement from the SEC. The Auburn at Mississippi State football game on November 14th has been postponed due to positive tests and subsequent quarantining of individuals within Mississippi State's football program consistent with SEC COVID-19 management requirements. Texas A&M did not practice Monday because of multiple positive COVID-19 tests within their program, according to Jimbo Fisher. Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman has tested positive for COVID-19. That team announced that on Monday. Pittman does not have symptoms and is self-isolating at home. Associate head coach and defensive coordinator Barry Odom will serve as the interim head coach. Arkansas is scheduled to play against Florida in Gainesville this Saturday. Monday Night Football, New England rallied to beat the Jets 30-27 last night. Joe Flacco, 3 scores, completing 18 of 25 attempts. The Jets are now 0-9. New England moves to 3-5 on the season.
Yeah, so this whole year, I've just been convinced to myself that New England is still okay because I thought they had an elite defense, but after Adam Gase let him go in hyperdrive, or after Adam Gase finally got it to hyperdrive, Belichick lets him score 27. I don't think I believe in any part of this New England Patriot team anymore this year.
Saints opened up at 9.5-point favorites versus San Francisco this weekend. That'll be a 3:25 start from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome coming up this week as the Saints host the 49ers. The NBA and the Players Union have reached an agreement in principle on the start date of the 2020-21 season as amended by the collective bargaining agreement. The two sides announced that on Monday. The deal calls for free agency to begin at 6 o'clock Eastern on Friday, November 20th. That is 2 days after the NBA draft. As was agreed and talked about last week, the regular season will begin December 22nd, and the schedule will hold 72 games, 72 regular season games for each franchise this season.
Yeah, what a whirlwind of an offseason this is going to be for this Pelicans front office and for Stan Van Gundy. Like, he's not even finished setting his coaching staff yet, right? I mean, I know they said they're bringing Vincent back, which is huge, but Chris Finch is out, a couple others. So you got to set your coaching staff. You got the draft next week. Free agency begins in 10 days, and then the season begins in a month, in 12 days. So Pelicans fans, get ready, man. It's right around the corner again. Let's go.
Trey Hendrickson has been stellar through the first 8 games for the New Orleans Saints. Sean Payton was on a conference call Monday talking about his defensive end who got 2 more sacks on Sunday night.
He's playing well. He's really done a good job for us. He plays with great energy. He's strong. He's at a real good weight. And we got a good rotation going. Ryan and those guys, when you look at the total snap counts they're playing, it requires a lot of energy, and I think those guys are in a good rotation, but he played well.
All right, those are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench on this Tuesday, November 10th. As always, Coach Ed Ogeron coming up here in 20 minutes on Tuesday's edition of OTB. We'll talk to Derek Stingley Sr. coming up at Straight Up, 8 a.m., 8:30 this morning. We will talk New Orleans Saints, Nick Underhill. We'll ask Underhill where Quan Alexander fits in this New Orleans Saints defense, who were dominant on Sunday night versus Brady and the Bucks. OTB rolling on this Tuesday. Compliments every day of All-Star Toyota.
OTB headlines are presented daily by Barbecue Guys. Remember, the most popular grill on the market is Blaze Grills. Blaze Grills is headquartered in Baton Rouge. Shop on the web at barbecueguys.com. Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Central Plumbing Company brings you OTB Daily here. Remember, online at centralplumbing.org, and you can always call them up at 925-8552. Dial that number into your contact list. That way you have it stored, because you can use that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Online, centralplumbing.org, but the number is 225-925-8552. Central Plumbing Company can offer up residential and commercial plumbing services. Find out how they can help you today at 925-8552 or get online at centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. Like Jordy said, 925-8552. Just lock that into your phone. Lock centralplumbing.org into your brain, whatever you need, so that whenever you have a plumbing issue, you don't think twice about it. You just call up Central Plumbing. They come out there. They fix your problem. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. A flat rate pricing structure means you're not going to hit with any surprise here, hidden fees. It's not just residential either. If you have an office building or a business and you need your plumbing needs met, they have the insurance, paperwork, and personnel to do so. centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time. We're live from Doe's E-Place on Government Street beginning at 6 p.m. So come see us and have some world-class steak or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
The 15th annual Zoo Run 2-mile race and half miles kids fun run is this Saturday, November 14th. New this year, all participants will receive a medal. All proceeds support the zoo and their international cheetah conservation efforts. Register now at Zoo Run at brzoo.org. Use the code ESPN10BR to receive 10% off registration. We have some free race entries to give away here, so get inside the YouTube chat and post hashtag ZooRun to claim your spot 5 for the rest of the week.
Get your mailbag questions inside of the Bayou Ford chat app if you want your questions asked and answered coming up at 8:15 this morning, an hour from now. Hashtag OTB mailbag. We mentioned the COVID-19 issues plaguing college football right now. Texas A&M paused all football activities on Monday. They went virtual from their facility as nobody was in the building. Auburn and Mississippi State has been postponed. That coming from the league office, and LSU and Alabama seem to be hanging in the balance after yesterday's update from Coach Ed Ogeron. Coach O will be here in 12 minutes, just like he is every Tuesday morning. We'll ask him if there's anything new to report on the COVID-19 update that he gave yesterday to the public through his weekly press conference. But it does not seem like LSU is trending in the right direction as far as the numbers are concerned to play this game on Saturday. Brody Miller over at The Athletic is reporting that LSU is down to one quarterback and is playing with zero tight ends.
An overrated position to begin with,
and some numbers in the on the lines of scrimmage that are thinning out, specifically on the offensive line.
I mean, as if the offensive line wasn't already thin enough. But per the COVID rules, it's like an NFL roster. You only need 7. You need, I think it's 7 linemen, 1 tight end. I want to say you're supposed to have 2 quarterbacks. Do we even know if they're hitting the base 53 number, though? I mean, think about it. LSU only has like 60-something scholarship players to begin with now, which is crazy in its own right. And so it wouldn't take much to push them under that threshold.
Yeah, that's the number that everybody's looking at, is the 53. If LSU is going to fall under that number, because they were so close when their roster was intact. I mean, when they were fully healthy, they were still hovering around a number like 68, 69, where it was still just, I mean, that is scary low numbers when you talk about trying to put a team together and go out every Saturday and compete in the SEC. When you get below the number 53, the SEC has come out and mandated that just can't. That's not enough players to compete in a game.
Well, unless the Masters are.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Let's be honest. These were all more guidelines and hard and fast rules anyway. So put a lot of marketing into this idea of Masters straight into Natty, defending champion against the number one team. So if we could make this game happen. Look, I'm being a little flippant about the entire thing, but that is kind of, there's the rub, right? As an LSU fan, okay, just from an LSU fan perspective, as someone who enjoys watching that football team, I do not want them to play this game. I do not need, it does nothing, it improves nothing in my life to go watch them get their ass kicked by Alabama on Saturday. Is my take there very Mike Florio and Chris Sims like? Yes, it's an incredibly soft take, but it is what it is. Now, that's just like a fan on the field, not wanting to watch my team just get shellacked by their main rival. I think the other very more real part of this is there are major financial implications for a lot of different people, right? For the league as a whole, obviously, with the big CBS game, kind of how they position this entire schedule for LSU, who is obviously in need of all the revenue and money they could get. And then even just look at local businesses, right? And what an LSU game day means to them. And even in a game like Alabama where, yeah, you're probably going to there's a chance you're not in it really by the second half. But it doesn't matter. People will still go out. They might be even more willing to go out to restaurants and whatnot because they need some way of kind of making the game more palatable. So it's a pretty nuanced issue, Jordy. And for what it's worth, like I said, just pure football, pure fan perspective, I don't need to watch that on Saturday. I don't need them to play. But I definitely understand that there are many who it has much more real implications for that would like to see them find a way to get this game played. But what is the way? Like, if they don't have the numbers, they don't have the numbers. Or are you going to make them run out there with just TJ Finley available? And then, like I said, essentially Jontre Kirkland would be, I'm guessing, right? That's just me guessing. It would be Jontre Kirkland would be your quarterback. You're your backup quarterback.
They'd have to be really creative. And I think that it is pretty peculiar that the only game that the league has not made a call on is this LSU-Alabama game, when it seems like from LSU's standpoint, or at least from the head coach's press conference yesterday, that they don't have the numbers, or they are getting extremely close to having to pull the plug on this thing. But I think that there was a lot of TV executives, there's a lot of money on the line, there's a lot of implications of this game that affect not only LSU and Alabama and what happens on the field. I mean, a lot of this, will affect the bottom line of the conference. That number, that check that they hand out to all 14 institutions at, the end of the fiscal year, all of this is in the pot. All this money, the advertising that you sell for Saturday's game, which I imagine is a pretty premium dollar, even though LSU is down, you still can guarantee eyeballs coming out of Butler's Cabin in Augusta, Georgia, and throwing the game to Death Valley, where the defending national champ is hosting the number one team in the country. And year in, year out, this always has, top interest, top billing as far as intrigue goes within the college football community. So I will tell you this, that the business implications, the tickets available that we heard Verge Alsbury speak to yesterday morning when he was here on Off the Bench, the feeling around Baton Rouge is that nobody wants this game to be played. Nobody wants it to be played from a sense of they would rather spare themselves the embarrassment, it feels like.
You're saying around the people around the program?
No, just around the town.
Oh, just around the town. Sorry. Yeah,
just around the city.
Yeah. I mean that's where I'm at.
And
I'm in that group.
And the tickets available, I mean, really and truly, I would say that they would be lucky to get 10,000 in this game on Saturday.
Yeah, you said that the other day. I didn't realize that it maybe had been so low to begin with this season, though, right? I mean, what was the actual count on the other home games?
The average of the other home games have been 11,000 actual. So I mean, it's I don't know what Saturday would look like. I think if we're just talking on Tuesday morning at 7:25 a.m., I would be surprised if they play this game on Saturday. Landwise Insurance brings you Off the Bench daily here. LANOIX agency.com, 749-5640. Remember, you can get in touch with the Landwise about your auto, home, business, and flood insurance. First-hand testimonies coming from the OTB crew. They handle all of our insurance, and they are the best. We tell you every day, man, they're not really our insurance agents. They're our friends first. LANOIX agency.com is where you find them online or dial them up at 749-5640. Nick Saban was speaking yesterday, and Musso was cutting up this sound and just time stamping it. It seems like Orgeron and Saban's press conference were happening simultaneously. Saban wasn't asked on the status of this game Saturday and LSU dealing with the COVID issues. His was more about the game in general. Here he is talking about the matchup between the Tigers and the Tide, the 2020 edition.
You know, this is often a big game for us. LSU game's always a big game. It's turned into kind of a rivalry game because of the success of the two programs. And I don't think this year is really any different, regardless of record. LSU has a lot of really, really good players. They have a lot of talent on their team. And, you know, these guys are very capable of being one of the best teams in the country because of the talent that they have. And I think our players really need to respect that and make sure that we go into this game paying great attention to detail in terms of playing with more discipline and being able to execute the way we need to execute to play against these kinds of football players.
We mentioned that The Athletic was reporting that LSU was down to 0 tight ends, no tight ends available for this weekend's game. Saban yesterday was talking about the stellar freshman for LSU, Arik Gilbert.
When you have really good skill players outside and you have a really good tight end, it's almost like you're defending 4 wide receivers all the time. And I think that's probably the case, you know, with LSU and the players they have, because they have really good players and, you know, they flex him out a lot. And he's very capable as a receiver, but he's also very capable as a blocker when they keep him in the core. So this creates significant issues in terms of matchups, I think, when you have this kind of tight end that can be vertical down the field. He's a really good receiver, but he's also a very good blocker.
One more from Saban talking about Baton Rouge's own Dylan Moses, who spiked the hearts of LSU fans 4 years ago when he chose Bama over LSU. Here is Moses' current head coach talking about his progression.
I think Dylan has played better and better as the season has gone along. I think, you know, he probably had to get his sea legs back under him early in the season after missing one entire year of football. But I think he's much more confident now. I think he feels, you know, better about the role that he's in terms of assuming command and leadership and making calls and trying to help other players play better. So I'm very pleased with the way he's progressed throughout the year.
An update from LSU football next. Their head coach, Ed Orgeron, on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Daily brought to you here on OTB by All-Star Toyota. Remember, online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. You can catch them on the corner of Goodwood and Airline if you want to shop the new car inventory that they have available over there. Great selections of brand new cars over there at All-Star Toyota, whether it's a Highlander, a RAV4, a Tacoma, a Tundra, a 4Runner, a Camry, an Avalon, a Corolla. Get into a new model today. If you want to shop pre-owned and certified cars, they've got great selections as well. Aaron Piku was telling me they have 90 to choose from over on the lot. Online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Go there today, get your new vehicle, or maybe get a Toyota certified used vehicle, okay, right? Where you're going to get a vehicle that's very affordable in that it's used, but because it's Toyota certified, you also get things you normally get with a new car, like a warranty and other advantages. So go check it out today. Go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Hanny, after further review and more, are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richards Honda from noon to 3. Hunt Palmer comes in for his hour, and we'll also be joined by Chris Doring of the SEC Network and SiriusXM Radio. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is Coach O, and you are listening to my favorite radio show, Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob, right here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Go Tigers.
All right, weekly here on Off the Bench, we catch up with LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron every Tuesday, as Coach O is here getting ready for Alabama. Last week in the bye, but as Coach O updated yesterday, his team is dealing with a COVID issue. He couldn't give the numbers on the update, couldn't talk specifically, but it seems like LSU is trending in the wrong direction there as far as the numbers go. Coach O is here with us, just like he is every week on Off the Bench. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, guys. Competition Tuesday in Baton Rouge. Ready to go.
Absolutely, Coach. How was Tell the Truth Monday in Baton Rouge?
Great. The guys were fired up yesterday. You know, we're playing Alabama. There was a different pep in their step. We had an excellent Monday practice.
Two things, Coach, and I know that you can't speak specifically on it, but just any updates since the last time you spoke to the public yesterday afternoon on the numbers and the COVID issue that your team is dealing with.
You know, Jack and Mickey will work on that. It's very fluid. It changes. It seems like it changes every 6 hours, stuff like that. You know, who's going to be in quarantine, who's getting tested. So it's very fluid right now. Not much has changed from yesterday, but I expect some more results today.
Do you have a deadline? Do you have a time in when you know that the game or the game decision will be finalized?
No, you know, that's obviously that's out of my control. You know, the league office will look at the numbers, and they'll make a determination. And right now, we're ready to play. We're going to play Alabama. It's a big game for us, and we're preparing to play.
So speaking of the game, Coach, you're coming off of a bye week, and when you look at that's like the ultimate self-evaluation period, right? And
Right.
when you look at the year thus far, you played so many young guys.
Yeah.
Which player, and maybe it's not even a young guy, but which player to you in this season has shown the most improvement in the first half?
Well, you look at B.J. Ojulari. You got to look at him. The job he's done coming in as a freshman, making the plays he's made. Look at T.J. T.J. Finley. The first game he played, he was outstanding. I think those guys have shown a lot of promise. Eric Gilbert has shown a lot of promise. As we know, we got to get him the ball more, a big time target. So those guys to me stick out in my mind.
Yeah, and I want to talk about Eric Gilbert, right? Because he has had games where he's really flashed and he's gotten targeted. And like you look at something like the Auburn game, and they're scheming up a bunch of stuff for their 300-pound tight end. Is there going to be a more concerted effort to scheme things specifically for Eric?
Yes, I think we need to split him up more, get him the ball more, get him the ball early.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get him the ball too late in the game. I thought in the Missouri game we had an outstanding plan for him, especially on those go routes. I thought he had a big game there. But the more we get him the ball, the better off we're going to be.
Coach, speaking go back to the bye week real quick, and you talking about recruiting, the success you guys have had. Safety play has been an area of need, and you go out and get two of the top safeties in the country. I know you can't speak specifically on name on those guys, but just the success that you had in the off week on the defensive side of recruiting.
Yeah, I'm very proud of our staff. We have unlimited calls to our guys. We FaceTiming. Bill Bush has done a tremendous job of recruiting for us. Corey Raymond, Kevin Falk, Mickey Joseph. Derek Panansky does a great job of kind of organizing everything for us in here. We have Power Hour. We talk to like 35, 40 guys maybe a night. We're always constantly talking to guys on the phone. And again, the LSU brand is hot. They still remember last year. They know the LSU Tigers are going to have a young team, going to bounce back. So everything's positive as far as recruiting.
And speaking of the 2021 class, Coach, which continues to climb up the ranks, maybe one area which is a little light is offensive line. If you look at your roster right now, a little thin there as well.
Yeah.
What are the kind of plans here in this closing portion of this cycle to try to bump up those O-line numbers?
Yeah, that's a big need. We're definitely we have one that we're very excited about. We're very close to one or two more outstanding players across the country. We get them, and then add a couple of more, maybe a junior college player, maybe a graduate transfer. We're gonna see what's out there. We're putting everybody, all our marbles in one box. See which one's the best one. We're gonna choose them. But I think we're gonna end up having an excellent offensive line recruiting class.
Coach, how much does this game mean to recruiting? Because I mean, it seems like you and just a collective of other schools are really recruiting the same guys. How much does this game mean to it?
Oh yeah, everybody loves to come to it. This would usually be a big recruiting weekend, as you guys know. The town would be buzzing, and everybody would be there. So now obviously, not a lot of players will be here. If they have to, they have to come on their own. We can't host them, but everybody's going to be watching. It's a big game for everybody.
Coach, we're talking to LSU head football coach Ed Ogeron here and off the bench. When you go into a game like this and you're coming from the kind of underdog status, does that change how you approach it in any way? Like, does that make you more free to be riskier, to take more chances, to try different things?
Sure. Yeah, you throw everything you can. You go to this game and you give everything that you give your team a chance to win in every shot. Maybe a fake here, gain a possession here, go for it. When you usually win, go for it. Those type of games. You have to do that in these type of games.
And Coach, defensively, obviously, that's where a lot of the corrections people are looking for to take place. What happened over the last couple of weeks in terms of progressing there, and how do you feel about like things that we talk about almost weekly now at this point, which is like keeping contained and setting the edge?
Yeah. We had problems with force setting the edge. I do believe we've worked a couple of different techniques to where we're fixing that. Better communication. That was one area that we attacked in open day, and also explosive plays. Yeah. We give up way too many explosive plays, explosive passes, and explosive runs. The explosive runs for us set in the head, so we fix that. Explosive plays and more or less being in the right place at the right time and making a play.
Coach, you mentioned B.J. Ojulari earlier in the interview, and he has been fantastic, the true freshman. Can you talk more about his progression in year one and kind of the expectation that he's setting for himself for the back end of this season and into the future for him?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great third down guy. He's a great pass rusher. What we need to do is put a little weight on him, get him just a little bit stronger so he's better at the point of attack, especially when he plays the 5 technique when he's on an offensive tackle. I think he's kind of outmanned there when he plays a 30-pound tackle on the run blocking scheme just because of his weight. So he needs to get a little bit bigger and stronger. We need to put him a little bit more on the edge and let him make plays.
Coach, yesterday in your press conference, you talked about something that I don't think I was aware of and I found pretty fascinating. So when you were interim at USC, you think y'all beat number 4 Stanford, you said with 12 defensive players available to your roster? So what is that, like the 11 starters and 1 backup?
Yes, I'll never forget Coach Pete was on the sideline, and, Stanford would run the power. And this is what it was, power, 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 putt. So we played great. Our guys were fired up. There was a big win for us. We went forward on 4th and 2. We made it. We kicked the winning field goal. They stormed the Coliseum floor. So, games like that are fun. Hey, you got to pull up. You got to check your guts. It's a gut check and go after it.
So it's got to be such an odd feeling as a player because you're looking around and it just the sideline probably feels like empty at that point. How do you how do you keep up their energy? How do you get them motivated? Like I have to imagine that today's competition Tuesday is going to feel a bit odd with the lack of numbers.
Well, I got to say this to you, T-Bob. Yesterday I was interested to see. I could always tell when I walk in the meeting the energy of the team was phenomenal. The guys were smiling. They had energetic. We had a great practice yesterday. They fired me up. So they understand the magnitude of this football game. They hear it all there. And you know what? They want to play, and they want to give their best against Alabama, and they're going to play to win.
Can you talk about the team you're getting prepared for? What are the challenges that you'll face on Saturday?
Great offense. Obviously, Steve Sarkisian has done a great job. Mac Jones has done a tremendous job operating the offense. Najee Harris is one of the best backs we'll face all year. Great offensive line. Devontae Smith's a great receiver. It's a shame Jalen Waddell got hurt. Excellent player. They have an excellent scheme. They'll beat you with the deep ball. They'll take shots. Their offensive line is probably one of the best offensive lines we've seen in a while.
Yeah, and that's what I keep going back to as well, Coach. The Bama line's very solid. So if that's the case, how do you try how do you try and beat that O-line? Is it through scheme? Yeah. Is it through stunts? How do you try to gain an advantage?
Yeah. Any which way we can. Obviously we got to be in the right place at the right time. We've got to tackle. And those double team blocks, you got to be strong in them. So you got to be big and strong in there. You got to be able to play their counter plays. They try to trap you. They try to run the ball inside the tackles. They got an outside toss play. It's got to be tough at the point of attack.
Competition Tuesday. Over on the Ponderosa this afternoon. Appreciate the update from Coach O this morning. Get him right, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There he is, Coach Ogeron, checking in this morning from LSU football. As LSU and Bama scheduled to play on Saturday. We'll wait and see on the news there. We asked Coach Ogeron at the front end of that interview if there was a deadline, if there was a timestamp that they were looking at. That they may get the call on whether or not this game is going to happen. Will it not happen on the numbers that LSU has presented to the league office? So we'll have to wait and see. Auburn and Mississippi State postponed, scheduled for Saturday. Seems like LSU's dealing with an outbreak of COVID-19 inside the locker room. Coach O mentioned there that he did not have the details on when that announcement could be made by the league office. He's just going out there getting his team ready to play on Saturday. And he'll do what they tell him to.
I want to say in the presser yesterday, I think he said he would expect something official by Wednesday. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it started to leak out earlier than that. But definitely late today, be on the lookout for it, and then to early tomorrow.
All right, we'll close at hour 1 next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by AccuTemp. Remember, over at AccuTemp, you can get the Tiger tune-up this weekend with LSU back in action. All you got to do is type the number in to your AccuTemp contact. Dial this in, 31996, 31996. That's a text-only number that you can use during LSU football games. If you text that number, if you text halftime to that number during intermission of LSU games, you can get half off of your Tiger tune-up. That's a tune-up on your air conditioner or your heater. Remember, with the winter season coming to South Louisiana, if you want to get an update on that heater over at AccuTemp, you can get half off with the Tiger tune-up by texting 31996 halftime to that number at the halftime break of LSU and Alabama this Saturday. Or you can learn about AccuTemp online at AccuTempBR.com.
AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Look, go there for all of your HVAC needs. They're the best. Trust me when I say that. They have a 4.9 Google review. We're trying to having 1,200 reviews. Go to AccuTempBR.com today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We'll have the latest on LSU Bama as it pertains to COVID. Also, Larry Holder joins us, and we'll chat with Rohan Davey. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, good stuff from Coach Ed Ogeron here on Off the Bench. If you missed it, it's online, brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Stopped in to see Will and the crew last week. Picked up a pair of Brax pants that you can get over at Carriages. Stop in and see them. They had a trunk show over the weekend with great inventory coming in. Last time I was there was boxes everywhere with new inventory coming to the floor over at Carriages. Stop in and see them on the corner of Old Hammond and Jefferson Highway, where they've been since 1982. As Carrot just brings back all of our sound, including that conversation we just had with Coach O. You learned anything there?
No, I mean, okay, I think he seems more confident on the offensive line recruiting in 2021 than the current numbers would have you dictate. I would say is probably the most value that you can gain from that, because that is a major point of concern. I mean, I don't know who's available right now, but I will say this. So as y'all know, I watch these films very closely, and in that South Carolina game, when you put in the backup O lineman,
falls off a cliff. Huh?
I did not find anybody to be particularly impressive at this point. Not that they won't be eventually, but everybody just looked super raw. Quite frankly, everybody just looked too heavy. It didn't look like a lot of the guys were moving well. And so, I mean, look, for them playing maybe the best thing, because maybe that's how you start to get in some of that shape and you start to take those lumps that eventually pay dividends in the end. But yeah, like right now you are paper thin on that offensive line once you get past the starting five. And as you've seen, even the starting five can struggle at times. And so if you want to talk about areas for LSU to take the next program step, that is an area to highlight. It's something we've been talking about for years. And so since it's been such a point of focus, you need to see returns on this 2021 class. And right now it's not there on paper, but Coach O sounds like the plan is there, and then he expects it to come together, and I think there's a lot of value there. As far as the game this weekend, I mean, he's saying what you expected him to say, which is that they are preparing to play Alabama, and there is no other way to approach a situation as a coach or a player. All you can worry about is what you can control, and you just got to go out there and you got to get ready to do your best this Saturday.
Well, if they're going to sign multiple offensive linemen in this class, and they've got Garrett Dellinger already committed to the class from Illinois, 4-star tackle, there's a lot of smoke around Tristan Lee. That there is some discussions of JUCO guys. They sit at 22 commits after Derek Davis Jr. committed over the weekend, which, in reading some media, that broke the hearts of the Penn State crowd up in Pennsylvania. He's a guy that was recruited to play both safety and running back, a guy that could play either or at the next level. Seemed like he was going to Penn State. He goes down and picks LSU over a couple of SEC schools. But now with him committed, that's 22, right? You'd imagine that Mason Smith is going to have a spot in this class whenever he wants
if
in.
Corey Foreman has it, he would obviously.
23, Corey Foreman has a spot. Brian Thomas has a spot down at Walker. If they add those three alone, that's 25. You know that, you know, I mean, that would be ideal if they could get those three. If they get those three guys, somebody's going to be out. Somebody's going to have to be either, I don't know if they do the gray shirt anymore, but either, you know, told that they're not in the class.
You can't just bring in one lineman.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, so if Foreman, Thomas, and Smith went in, you have to take those three, but you also have to have multiple offensive linemen in this class. And you know, Tristan Lee is a guy that would be in that space too. If he wants in, you have to find a spot for him.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
I mean,
everybody you just named. Now, thankfully, recruiting norm doesn't work like that, right? And you probably want to hit all of them. So who knows if this comes to pass or not. But bottom line is, regardless of who you get out of those superstars, you need more meat and potatoes O-line additions to this class. I mean, you at least want to get that number to 4, if possible.
That'd be ideal.
Really, I think you should almost be at 5 or 6 per recruiting class. And again, if you're talking about the area where you are most separated, since this is Alabama week, and you want to compare yourself program to program, the area where you are most separate throughout the years has been offensive line. That's been the area in which they've out-recruited you heavily and outclassed you. And you could see the results that have followed because of that.
All right, we're going to talk to Derek Stingley Sr. coming up here in a couple of minutes. That conversation is presented by City Cafe every week, as Stingley will be here, give us an update. Could Stingley Jr. be a possibility at quarterback on Saturday? I mean, could you see him just back there and run a version of a Wildcat, a Stingcat?
Well, but how would I'm probably ruining this because I get that it was a tease for Stingley Sr. So maybe I shouldn't. I was just gonna say how is that much more advantage than Jontre Kirkland?
No, you're right, and Kirkland has the quarterback experience, like you said, coming out of Lutcher, and LSU has been presented this opportunity before because I felt like we've talked about Jontre Kirkland taking snaps on live radio before.
I'm not sure, but I am into the idea. It's kind of like what I asked Coach O, right? Like, make no mistake, you are a massive underdog going into this game. And when you are a massive underdog, you have to be willing to approach situations in unconventional manners. If you are a massive underdog and you try to play the favorite straight up, the chances are you're going to lose. You're playing a traditional style, a style that they are just flat out better than you in. So, like he said, be more aggressive. It is kind of free when you're an underdog. You can go for it more. You can set up some fakes. Or if you want to get real spicy and real crazy, and this is probably not even in the realm of possibility, but whatever you do, you put in like a whole Jontre Kirkland package full of like triple options and all other sort of running quarterback elements that maybe you don't have yet. Maybe you throw in some passes, like a little RPO action on some of them. So if the game is played, I'm very intrigued to see how all out LSU goes in embracing that underdog mentality.
Hour 2 next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Daily Hero brought to you by Secure Shredding and Recycling, online at secureshreddingandrecycling.com. You can find them there online, or you can get in touch with the crew. Jay Babb, Mr. Gaines Garrett, and the crew over at Secure Shredding and Recycling can help you out. Your document destruction specialist. Remember, they offer all types of services like mobile shredding, where they have 10 trucks on the road every day. One of those trucks can come to your office, your home, destruct your files, your hard drives. Drop-off shredding, hard drive destruction. Online, secureshreddingandrecycling.com.
Secureshreddingandrecycling.com. Secureshreddingandrecycling.com. Your document destruction experts. There to serve all of your business needs. And make no mistake, this is something that you have to do. And when you work with Secure Shredding, you're going to see why they're the only place you want to go to for that document destruction. First off, obviously, it's very good for the environment, right? Saves trees, everything else. Recycling comes into play. But how about the fact they're local? They're LSU guys. There's a relationship there, and you'll have a better rate than you will the national guys. SecureShreddingRecycling.com.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar?
your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone, they have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into front-to-back boat services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front-to-back boat services.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, November 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 82. In case you missed hour one of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Still to come, Derek Stingley Sr. joins the show next. Nick Underhill's Talking Saints at 8:30, presented by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette. OTB mailbag at 8:15. Get your questions in, tweet them, or ask them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag. And make sure you're following today's show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN, at 1045 ESPN YouTube channel, where you can watch us live and get subscribed to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2 on the bench, off and at it, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria, online 1045ESPN.com. Hour 2 OTB, driven and powered by All-Star Toyota. Hour 1 in the books. Ed Ogeron stopped by, gave an update on his team getting prepared for Alabama. Coach O says, as of now, games scheduled, preparing for the Tide coming in town to Baton Rouge on Saturday. That'll be a 5 o'clock kickoff. The Masters start on Thursday as well. 8:30 this morning, we'll talk NFL and Nick Underhill. New Orleans Saints with Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football. Every week, former LSU Tiger, current attorney Chris Perrette brings us that conversation. City Cafe, charbroiled oysters today for lunch. They got boiled shrimp every day on the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill. Sponsor the Derek Stingley Sr. segment as Coach Sting's here every week. Always good conversation with Coach Sting as he's here every Tuesday morning. Welcome him back to the conversation here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Coach, how are you? Good morning. Got him?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, what's up, Coach? What's going on?
I'm here. Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Okay. Yeah. How you guys doing?
How's the health of Junior?
He's good now. I think he's 100% ready to go.
No COVID for him, though, huh?
No. He's good. No.
Okay, so let's just dive right in then about Junior, the game on Saturday, because it's something that we've talked about a lot with you, Coach, and that is this idea of Derek, locking in against the guys who maybe aren't the big names. That should not be a problem this week, right? These are the biggest names when you're talking about wide receiver. How does Derek kind of get ready, or what are his feelings going into a game with a matchup against elite guys like this?
Well, for him, it's always business as usual, but naturally he had probably not one of his better games against Devontae Smith last year, and I know the competitor in Derek he's ready to get back out there and continue that one-on-one battle that they had from last year, where Devontae had the upper hand. On a few passes, I can't count the two long passes. One was a trick play, another one was, in my opinion, just a poor defensive call. But Derek should have still covered it. But I think with him, it's all about just trying to compete and not give up big plays. Make sure that the other corners are ready to go because that's a young group in there. Naturally, Derek was the only starter out of that room last year that played in that game, that played some good minutes in that game, and the other guys would be freshmen or new guys to the scene like he was last year, and he can probably just help them with the overall, how big a game like this is now. I know the record's not good, and Alabama coming here with being the number one team in the nation, but it's still Alabama. You still want to beat them at all costs and play well.
The tension and feeling around this town is always pretty thick this week, the week of LSU Alabama. I was mentioning yesterday just being out on my sales routes and out on the streets and talking to local businesses. It doesn't have that feel to it from a competitor's standpoint in Junior, in his point of view, and somebody who views the game through his lens and watches it in the point of view that you do. Does it feel like it's a big game week?
Well, I think it is. I think from a fan standpoint, because of the fact that they can't have that fan experience.
Yeah.
You can't have a full Tiger Stadium. You can't have the tailgating and all the things that come along with that. For them, they may feel that way. But as a player and as a coach, no, you're still playing one of the top teams in the country. You're still on national TV. You still want to go out there and dominate your opponent. Not allow them to have any plays made over you. So for Derek, no, he's all dialed in. If I know the coaching staffs, they should be as well, and I'm pretty sure Coach O has those coaches ready to go, because regardless if we play or not, well, if we do play, it's a big game. If we don't, then that's out of our control. We just move on to the next.
Can you take me back to his recruitment and what it was like between these two schools? Because if I recall correctly, was it Saban that would call him every day and tell him that he was the number one player on Alabama's board, and just to see if he couldn't get him to at least flirt with the Tide? Can you take us back a couple of years ago, what it was like between LSU Alabama for him?
Yeah, I mean, Saban was overzealous. He did a lot of things where, he called as much as he could. He FaceTimed as much as he could. His recruiting was just overboard, But, LSU always did a great job with Derek. Derek's relationship with Corey Raymond was outstanding. I didn't think anybody would chink that armor between him and Corey. And naturally Derek was dialed in here because, it's the hometown team. So if you guys know, during Derek's recruitment, when he was in high school, he was at every LSU game. So, I mean, for anybody to come through and pull him away from LSU, it would have been a surprise for me as well. But Nick didn't stop. I remember at one point, something happened within the recruitment with one of the coaches inboxed Derek and said something silly, and naturally I jumped on him and I got involved in it and came to the rescue. And then Nick Saban, he called me. He was like, "Listen, man, look, we really want your boy. Sorry that coach said what he said, but we really love him here. We want him to be here." And I said, "Coach, I think it's over." And Coach Saban said, he said, "Has he signed a letter of intent yet?" And I was like, "Nope." He said, "Well, then it's not over." So,
That's good. Well, I mean, because the story goes, he told Hal Moore, who's the longtime Alabama athletic director who passed away, who hired Saban back to Tuscaloosa, or brought him to Tuscaloosa, the day that he got off that plane and all the locals are flooding around him and they're all like kissing and hugging him, is that he told Hal Moore in the back room, "You didn't hire the best college football coach today. You hired the best recruiter in college football." So it gave you an idea of what he thinks of himself. From somebody who was the number one recruit, did you view him like that?
I thought Coach O did more with bringing, just energy on the recruiting part of it. I mean, Nick Saban is up there as well,
Yeah, sure.
It was as much as he could through whatever rules it was when you can contact a recruit. They were making sure that they were calling Derek a lot. And, Derek got to the point where he was like, "Dad, I don't know. I mean, I got homework. I got to study." I said, "Well, then just tell him. You're indisposed at the moment. You'll get back to him when you can." So, but yeah, I mean, I think Nick Saban was real good at pouring it on the guys that he really, really, truly wanted.
Coach, let's once again then, I'm going to ask you to put on your coaching hat here and kind of what you've seen out of Alabama thus far this season, and maybe combine it with what you've seen out of LSU, when you're going against this offensive attack, you're not going to be able to stop them. You're not going to be able to shut them down, at least. So how do you try to mitigate it? How do you try to find success against the side of the ball that no one has had success yet against this entire year?
Well, what I would do would, because of the fact that Alabama is explosive. And they're explosive more in their passing game than anything. I would play too high and make them run the ball, because some of their offensive plays are like read options where, the safeties are high, they're going to hand the ball off. So I would prefer Najee Harris or whoever is running the ball to just beat us. If you're going to have over 200 yards rushing, then so be it. But maybe you may not. But I don't want to give up 40, 50-yard, 60-yard touchdown plays. So I'll keep that under wraps and make them impatient. Put them under the center as much as possible to possibly they can make a mistake when they're snapping the ball if they got to have a 10 to 12 play drive. But I would take away the deep ball. I would play two safeties high. I would play man under. I would play inside to take away their slants and their quick reads. They have to beat me with the longer throws, like the outs and the corners. And they'll just have to beat me with running. And I just got to hope that my linebackers and my D-line can stop the run.
And then in terms of on the other side of the ball, Alabama's defense has maybe been a bit susceptible at times this year. I mean, I guess it's so tough not knowing who's going to be available, but with a freshman quarterback in TJ Finley, how do you craft a game plan around him?
I wouldn't hold back. There was a few teams that had success against Alabama this year with throwing the ball. I mean, Alabama's now trying to play a little bit more man than what they normally played in the past. And I think that they had a few big plays over them as well. They don't have those elite safeties as they had last year. I think they lost one of their top corners in Diggs. Surtain is a pretty good player, but, there's other guys out there that hadn't been in the fire as long as him. I mean, just attack them, especially with, if everybody's saying what they're saying about, this game is lopsided, why not? Just take shots, just don't hold nothing back and go right at them. Sometimes, some coaches look at teams like this and say, okay, we're just going to, play action or run the ball, play action just to get a big play. No, go right at the monster, go right at the beast, and see what happens. And maybe we may get a big player here or there, and we're out in front like we were last year. Alabama could be playing catch up, but who knows? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know who's playing.
I know.
Well, we may not even play. So, I mean, we would hope for that type scenario to where we could jump out. But Alabama, they're coached well. They play tough defense, and naturally they're one of the top explosive offenses that's out there right now. And it's going to be a tough battle, but hopefully Coach O got those boys ready to go. Who's ever playing, and we can at least make it competitive or possibly come out with a victory.
What's the competitive angle been like in the stadium from your point of view, just being in these stadiums with 10, 11, 18,000 people, both from a spectator standpoint and then in watching your son competitively?
I've been to road games this year. I think naturally I didn't go to Vanderbilt. I went to Missouri and Auburn. To me personally, I don't think that any SEC team has home field advantage because you just don't have that many people in the stands. It's not intimidating like it normally be. Now, with those two games that I went to, Missouri and Auburn, they were pumping in crowd noise. And I don't think that we didn't do that to the game where I went to South Carolina game, because naturally I went at the Mississippi State game. I didn't hear any crowd noise from our speakers, but other teams are doing that. And I thought that, I said, man, that's a little different. Like that, you can still, it's not very loud, but it's just, it's annoying loud. It's like sitting next to the band loud, like something that's just, okay, that's a little bit on the edge. But when it comes to fans and what the SEC experience is about, there's no home field advantage. There is none. It's still a 100-yard field, but it's just not intimidating. And naturally, we hadn't had, from what I'm hearing, we hadn't had 25,000 in the stands yet.
No.
So I don't know what difference it can make, but I think with players playing, you tone that out. You know, between every play, it's truth be told, as a player, you really don't hear things during the play. You hear it after the play because you're so focused and dialed in to where, I don't think crowd noise matters. I think just it's what's in you. Are you a competitor? Are you a true competitor? Are you going to play to the finals? And that's what these players need to do.
City Cafe, been in business for over 100 years, and they bring you our conversation each week with Derek Stingley Sr. every Tuesday morning. If you're out for lunch or brunch on Sundays, remember City Cafe on the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill, online at citycafebr.net. Thank you, Coach. Good luck this Friday night. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Appreciate you guys.
Always.
All right, Coach. Thank you, man.
Coach Sting checking in. We'll be back with your mailbag questions. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brought to you daily by Go Roof, online at GoRoof, GEAUXroof.com. Remember, residential or commercial roofing repairs, they can handle it for you this morning at 927-8300. Dial that number for a free professional quote this morning. For a free professional estimate, get online at GoRoof, GEAUXroof.com, or call them at 927-8300. Anywhere in the listening area, Baton Rouge, Hammond, New Orleans, Lafayette, all surrounding areas. Go Roof, ready to get you help and get you updated today for your roof. Doesn't matter if it's residential or commercial. GEAUXroof.com.
Yeah, and look, they offer a few great advantages. The workmanship guarantee would be one of them. It's a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty, right? So you have peace of mind that once the work is done, it'll be done correctly, and if anything does go wrong, they will take care of it. I also love the free professional estimates. You don't have to know exactly what's going on. You don't have to spend anything up front to learn exactly what's going on, I should say. So they'll come out and give you a free professional estimate. What do you get when you work Go Roof, Jordy?
A beautiful new roof every single time.
Roof's up.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time. We're live from Doe's E-Place on Government Street beginning at 6 p.m. So come see us and have some world-class steak or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Big Baby's still balling. Glenn Davis yesterday, a video has emerged of the former LSU SEC Player of the Year, two-time state champ with the University High Cubs. Do we know where this is?
Shout out Rollo, mine. I don't know.
It's coming from Top Ball coverage, but Big Baby's still with that patented spin move that he has made famous since his days at the Sports Academy.
Thing on display, huh?
Where he'll just post you up, spin baseline, and go lay it up. But now he's doing it with a little bit of a tighter uniform, as my guy should probably be in the XXX, and it looks like he's in the XL. As far as the size goes,
but you
think maybe they were just out of the XXXs, possibly.
No, this is on purpose.
This is vintage Glenn Davis.
Look at everybody else in their baggy shorts and everything. The shorts were given away. Those are not even actually basketball shorts.
No,
right? I mean those are like yoga shorts, essentially.
Bicycle shorts.
Yes, like bicycle shorts. But hey, look, he doesn't. Where's the shorts? Well. I'll say that.
Legion hoops.
Right? I mean, does anybody disagree here?
No.
Respect is due.
No. He is.
The gut may be a bit of a negative.
It looks a little bit like Escalade from And One.
Yes.
From the And One.
Big Escalade vibes for sure, dude.
From the And One mixtape tour.
Expecting the professor to come out and just cross people up and be like, "What? Look at Taylor White, dude. That's crazy."
Where he's still got the small ankles, but the gut is just it is looking for room.
The spin was tight
though. But he's still got the feet, Big Baby. I'm telling you. I mean, he's still got that patented move that was unguardable at LSU, where he would set you up and he would back you down with that big old booty. And then he'd drop step you to the baseline, and he'd spin around you, and the double team would try to come and help, and it would foul him every time, and he'd lay it up and in. I mean, it was unstoppable. The fact that a 6'8" guy that played under the rim like he did in such an above-the-rim league, whether it was the SEC in 2006, remember, those are the days that Florida, back-to-back national championships, was running up and down the floor with Horford, Brewer, Noah, that crew. I mean, you had big-time athletes coming out of the SEC during that time, and Big Baby was the player of the year in 2006. But, yeah, I mean, he's still got the moves, man. Legion Hoops is where that comes from. I don't know what that is.
Also, you may be, if you're D'ing him up, you're probably going to be a little less willing to go full effort if that bulge is just like all up in your grill like that. Right?
It's tight. I mean, that's some tight shorts.
It's a 4D strategy.
I mean, if he just bodies you up, you can't hide anything in those shorts.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Definitely going to have to give you an up tuck there. Weekly mailbag segment. Here's the latest edition.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most
surprising.
urgent.
We'll
be writing to you.
The internet.
What the is the internet?
Surprised he didn't slap anybody in the fans when he pulled that spin move.
Locker room talk around Big Baby was that it wasn't anything impressive.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, look, I don't know. The pink shorts look good.
OTB mailbag. What is worse, losing to Bama by 80 or being relieved that the game is canceled and you don't get embarrassed on national television again?
The relief of the game being canceled and LSU looking like that they want that to happen is going to be probably tough to overcome, but it will not be more tough to overcome an 80-point thrashing at home after talking so much for 365 days plus. I would take getting this game and the Florida game. Now that I see that this is a tactic, that this is possible, I would say that they have a COVID breakout on the week of December 12th as well, and see if you can't just go ahead and forfeit playing the LSU-Alabama and the LSU-Florida game. That way you don't have to put that on film, and they can't recruit that against you.
LSU players, December 5th, party at Jordy's. Invite as many people as you know. Yeah. I think that, as I said earlier, and we'll get to this in the third hour, but have you all seen the Mike Florio and Chris Sims videos floating around about them post-Bucks Saints? Oh, y'all haven't seen these yet?
No.
Oh, my God. Y'all are going to love these. It's the softest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
And so we are pretty soft
Softer
as well.
than Atlanta?
It's the softest thing I've ever seen. You will see. We're pretty soft, though, in not wanting to play this game, but it is what it is. Discretion is the better part of valor, right? You know who the worst generals of all time are? The ones who fight the battles you know you're going to lose. You know who the best generals of all time are? The ones who delay until they like where they sit from a battlefield standpoint, and then they execute. So, yeah, I have no problem with bagging off of this. We get to talk trash for another year more. Alabama doesn't get the satisfaction of revenge. It's kind of, from a pure fan perspective, economically it's really bad. From a pure fan perspective, I don't think it's bad at all if you can swallow your pride.
OTB mailbag, you are shrunk to the size of a Lego minifigure.
Okay.
At first, you explore the novelty of it, but after a while, the novelty wears off, and your 15 minutes of fame are up. What do you do now?
I mean,
I think see if I can find a way to get the shrinking reversed there.
Dodge footsteps.
Try to avoid getting eaten by cats. Now, I don't know if they're including this in the novelty, but I would definitely enjoy exploring human orifices if I was that size. You could just, like, go fully inside whatever you wanted with your body. That'd be kind of crazy to experience firsthand. But yeah, it'd be terrible. I don't know what I would do.
Avoid getting stepped on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like anything, cats, dogs,
avoid lawnmowers and boots.
Okay, I would still try to find a way to get back to normal size. I mean, those shrink rays normally have a reverse button.
You could also move into a sick house. Get your wife or whoever to buy you like a sick doll house. Be posted up in that thing. I don't know how you're going to get a tiny TV in there, but if you could get a tiny TV in there, you'd be golden.
OTB mailbag, when and what was the last time that Jordy played a video game?
Yeah, since it is Xbox Series X and PS5 release date and Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I'll walk into the back and play a game of Madden versus Little J every now and again.
Do you get whooped up on?
Not as bad as you would think. I mean, if you're creative offensively, you can make a couple of plays. I mean, I ain't gotten blown out. I used to be a Tecmo Bowl.
So what about non-sports video game?
No.
Like ever? Nah. Like not once?
I mean,
I'm saying, like, when was the last one? Surely there was like a Quake or like.
No, I played Contra.
Okay, check it out. There you go, dude. Very famous game.
Up, down, left, right, start, select, BA, BA.
Whoa, the Contra code, dude. Look at you. The most famous code in all of video games. That's like some real nerd knowledge there, bro.
Tecmo Bowl, back in the day, we used to have tournaments in the house.
Also, Contra is notorious for being one of the hardest games of all time. And I've played it, and as an adult, I played it. I didn't play it as a kid. And it's terribly hard, like a lot of games from that era are.
It's awesome.
That's why you had to know the code.
OTB mailbag, how could you rank Shake Shack in the D tier list of the burger tier list? Explain. People were really mad about that.
They should be.
Boy, they were triggered on that one.
Take a walk in my shoes, people. Usually I drop great recommendations on that tier list and get out of here, and I'm just they take my suggestions and just throw them into
we were all united on Burger King, were we not? We caught a lot of flack for having Burger King.
People were mad about that too.
But I think they're pretty dumb on that.
I agree. I'll never understand the hate.
How could you? I mean, is there a better fast food burger than a Whopper?
But here's the deal, and I agree with you. But the problem is Burger Kings are not always the most well run, and so the consistency can leave a lot to be desired. And so sometimes you're not going to get a very good Whopper. But our list was like when it's at its peak, right? And yeah, it is the best fast food burger. I don't think there's a. Yeah, I don't know if there's much of an art. Flame broiled. As far as Shake Shack goes,
flame broiled.
I don't care. I've never
flame broiled.
It's true. Flame broiled. It's not cooked in the skillet. It's flame broiled. There's a difference. As far as Shake Shack goes, I don't know, dude. I
just
don't
that's
really
where it
care.
landed. Sorry.
I've never really eaten.
Your
Shake
life
Shack.
will go on. OTB mailbag. If you were given $10,000 to throw an amazing party / gathering or event, what would that look like?
Say it again.
If you were given $10,000 to throw an amazing party, gathering, or event, what would that look like?
I think it's all about the venue.
Yeah, but that 10 grand go real quick. When we're getting into venue, you got to chill out, boy.
Gets swallowed up quick with a cool venue.
I think it's all about the party treats and supplies for your guests. So I would have a bevy full of supplies, both legal and maybe even some illegal things. Yeah. And I would let my
medically
partygoers
medically legal.
Well, not all the things I'm talking about, but I would let my partygoers choose what they wanted to engage with and not engage with. And then obviously, kind of around that, you don't want it to be some dingy rat hole looking thing. So just find a
gotta have
portable,
a DJ.
nice venue.
Gotta have a good DJ.
Yeah, music, all that, all your classic things like that.
Would be
Pool
nice.
for sure.
The ratio's got to be right.
Maybe like some big pink flamingos in the pool or something, Danny.
Yeah, it's aggressive. Yeah, that's it.
Those are your mailbag questions. Nick Underhill talking Saints and NFL next.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota. Remember, online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You can get in touch with them there. You can shop the new car inventory or pre-owned and certified. If you want to stop in today for a service call, get to Tommy Wagasback and his crew as they are ready for you over there to get you serviced and back on the road. If you want to rent a vehicle for the holidays, remember, All-Star Toyota can get you into a rental as well. One-stop shop online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go there today for all of your car needs. I got the minivan Toyota Sienna, fellas. I cannot recommend it enough. Maybe you're saying, I don't know if that lifestyle's for me. If you got kids, trust me, it is, dude. It has changed my life for the better. It's so nice to be able to throw the kids in there. We have room for everything, right? We go to Renfest on Saturday. I got room to put the strollers in there, the costumes. Everybody's comfortable. They sleep. It's everything you need for your family. But maybe it's not a Sienna, right? Let All-Star be your guide to whatever the answer is. They have it. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays, You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor. You could control with your iPhone. They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into front-to-back boat services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richard's Honda from noon to 3. Hunt Palmer comes in for his hour, and we'll also be joined by Chris Doring of the SEC Network and SiriusXM Radio. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
All right, Saints dominate on Sunday night. They will be home versus the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday afternoon. They opened up as 9.5-point favorites versus the 49ers. Nick Underhill is with us on Off the Bench every Tuesday, talking Saints and NFL. That is compliments of former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. Nick, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Was that a surprise to you on Sunday night, how dominant the Saints were over Tampa?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I thought they were going to go out there and play perhaps the best half of football that I've seen them play under Sean Payton. I can't remember a more dominant half, and the thing is they scored 31 and they fumbled on the goal line. It could have been more, and they could have ran that score up even more in the second half. They let off the pedal there probably, well, right at the end of the third quarter. So, I mean, it wouldn't have been a shock if they scored 50 points the way that game was going if they hadn't taken Breeze out and went to the other guys. But, you know, that's kind of the performance that we've been waiting to see out of them. You know, when we were talking all summer about them having possibly one of the more talented rosters in the league, this is kind of what was envisioned. And, you know, I think it's fair to say that the first half of the season, as far as execution, you know, record-wise, statistically on offense, I think a lot of this stuff is where it should be. But visually on offense and, you know, always on defense, I think it would be fair to say that it was a little bit disappointing and definitely underwhelming. And I don't think this is what they're going to be the rest of the way. I don't think they're going to be, you know, the greatest football team ever assembled every single week. That defense is going to have its variances and all that. But they showed that they know how to execute. They can stop shooting themselves in the foot. So, you know, I do think this was a very important game for them just in terms of, you know, belief in what they can do in, you know, resetting the stage for the second half of the season after, you know, a weird offseason and quite a while getting up to speed. But I think, you know, we're at the point now where there's no more ifs or maybes or there's hedging. They've shown what they can do, and there should be an expectation that they should look like one of the best teams in the NFL every week.
Yeah, and if you look at this game defensively, Nick, and I loved your film breakdowns, by the way, on New Orleans.football. Everybody should go sign up if you want the best Saints coverage around. But, I mean, the star of the show was the defensive line. And all the old cliches about football, it all starts up front, et cetera, et cetera. Like, the reason why it looks so damn good is because you were getting home with 4, and you were getting home with 4 consistently. I want to talk about David Onyemata. We spent a lot of time on Davenport yesterday, and obviously other guys get headlines, but David Onyemata played maybe the best game of his career. Like, what is his value to this defense? And did you come up with the Manitoba Mauler nickname yourself?
I did in the moment. I came up with the Manitoba Mauler. You know, nice. I watch a lot of horror movies. I don't know, it just kind of hit like a 70s horror movie guy. He's just out there mauling people from Manitoba. I don't know. But yeah, look, I think he's hugely important to this team. And when they signed him this offseason, the value of his contract was a little bit shocking to me. I didn't underestimate his ability, but I didn't think he was that valuable. But other teams were interested in him as well, and that's what they had to pay to keep him. And I think it makes a lot more sense now seeing him this year. I think everything's come together for him, the physical ability. You know, I think he knows what he's doing now. And that might sound a little weird, but look, I mean, he's been playing football for American-style football for 4 years. He played football or college football in Canada, I'm sorry. And the roles are a little bit different there. You aren't lined up directly over anybody. And, you know, you're playing a little bit more in space up there, where here things are more condensed and you got to have plans and do things quickly. And I think the way he's rushing looks a little bit different, and he's really come into his own. And with Sheldon Rankins being out, he played a lot more yesterday or Sunday, and I think things came together for them as a whole. And I think him playing more could be something that's a benefit to this team in the way he opens things up. And look, he was getting after it himself. He had like 7 or 8 pressures himself, but even when he's not the guy getting there, the assists are there, and he's a big, set other guys up player. They stunted a lot at the backup guard. I think they went at him 7 or 8 times on stunts. He was often involved in those. They got 4 pressures off that backup guard. And you look at those plays, and he's central to that execution. So he's been a huge player for this team. I don't know if he gets talked about enough. He's the unsung hero of that defensive line for sure, though.
Yeah, and for everybody listening, that interior pressure, that's good for everybody because then that increases Hendrickson, Davenport, Jordan, everybody off of the edge. Maybe we'll circle back to D-line. But Nick, one name that was interestingly absent from your film breakdown was Mike Thomas. And I get it because there were so many other big pieces to talk about. But what were your thoughts on Thomas in his first game back after missing time?
I thought he settled back in and looked like himself fairly quickly, especially on some of those third downs. I think having him, the value of him was evident. He's one of the best players in the league, and it's funny because they went out there and they spread it around, and everybody got a touch, and it would have been a little bit, intellectually dishonest to come out of that and highlight him as the reason for the win. But I do think that subtly having him out there opens things up, and it just stretches things out for everybody else. Now you have Carlton Davis on him instead of Emmanuel Sanders, and then just the matchups work out a whole lot better for everybody. So even when he's not getting the ball, you kind of see the coverage rolling towards him a little bit. On some of those third downs, they bracketed him. So you got 2 guys on him, and now you got a one-on-one matchup for Marquez Callaway or whoever else Breeze was throwing the ball to, which was basically everybody on the roster. And that's why those things get created. So even when it's not him making 19 catches and, racking up all the yards and being the one guy on offense, everybody else eats because he's there. And, I just going forward, obviously he's going to get back to being the guy that gets targeted 9, 10, 11 times a game in the central piece of the offense. But look, I think they're going to be so much better the rest of the season because he was out and Breeze found out how to throw passes to all these other guys.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, you're going to see a more diversified attack, and probably more so. I don't know when the last time they were like that back in the prime years, but I mean, it's been a while since they've had a lot of options. I think they have a chance to even be better than they were with that 1 year with Mike Thomas, Brandon Cooks, Willie Snead, just because I just think that there's more consistency in the players in this offense fit the skill set of the quarterback better than they did in 2016 with those guys. So, I'm going to be encouraged to kind of see the development and how everybody comes along alongside Mike Thomas. But, I think he's going to be fine. There were some, fireworks, I think, behind the scenes, some hurt feelings, but getting out there, catching passes, he gets going. I think a lot of that stuff goes away. One of the things I was watching was how he just interacted with his teammates, and, there were a lot of high fives and hugs on the sidelines. Nothing looked weird there. It wasn't isolated. So, I do think that some of the talk while he was out was a little bit overblown. There was probably some truth to some of the friction and the reports of that. But I think, the stuff that painted it as being on the brink was maybe a little bit overblown. And I do think that just over time, playing the game, winning games, whatever's left, I think there's a real chance if there's any lingering, feelings anywhere that stuff goes away.
At Nick_Underhill on Twitter, NewOrleans.football. Go sign up for the site. It is absolutely worth it. No ads in. You support Nick's work. Speaking of a more diversified attack, Nick, the thing that jumped out to me from your film review was your breakdown of Peyton and his game plan and personnel groupings. How can you lay out to our listening audience just how impressive what you saw out of Sean Payton was?
I think one of the things they did, it was one of the more, this is getting real into the gritty details, but one of Sean's favorite plays is 52 all-go special X shallow cross. And it's a 3-by-2 route combination. And on the right side, out of an empty backfield, out of the right side, it's 3 vertical routes. And then on the left side, the innermost route crosses over, and then the outside route is another go route. And it's a play they run probably 3 or 4 times a year. Going back to 2017, I think if you tallied them up, it'd be like 13 or 14 times since then. And the success rate on it is just out of this world. But the first time they ran it, it was with Taysom at quarterback, and the defense was playing cover 0, no deep safety. They were cheating on him because, Taysom has set up this tendency all season to run, and he hasn't really been throwing a whole lot. And, especially out of this look, they set it up like this, and quite often he kind of drops back and then rolls out to the left side, and it's up the left sideline. And so they see the safeties cheating up, and they beat him with it. He throws a pass down the field. It's a big game to Jared Cook. You come back later in the game, Taysom's lined up a wide receiver, same route. This time it's against the zone coverage, which they typically get. When it's cover 2, the one inside route goes, it cuts in on a post instead of going vertical. So that's what he did. So he runs an option route out of the inside position on the right side, the 3-man side, and he catches a pass. And it's just the versatility of the player is just, it's unbelievable that you can throw a pass and run a route from the same passing concept, and it succeeds. And, I think the frustration with Taysom that some people have, I get it. I think the way they were using him early in the season was a little bit too, I don't know, it wasn't expansive enough, and it was a little bit predictable. But I don't think like when that stuff's happening and the defense is like, oh, Taysom's out there and they cheat up and they stop the run, I don't think the solution is to pack it up and say, he should never do this again. And I get that this player in his role can't be someone who fumbles and costs you a game. I get all that, but I think when they're running this package and it's expansive and he's involved in a lot of layers of the offense and the plays, I don't know how to put it in a different way, but when Peyton's using him well, I feel like the plays set up and they tell a story, and one thing leads into another, and they might do something this week, and 2 weeks from now you see how they build off it just to create a tendency to break it. When he's doing that with him, I think that's when Taysom has so much value to this offense, and it helps break the defense down and create things for either him or other people. And now there's all this stuff you got to prepare for. And I think this week, and as the season has gone on, I think they've done more of it. I still think he's going to be a big part of the offense, and when it's working, it works really, really well.
I got 45 seconds. Where's Quan Alexander fit in?
He's going to play weak side linebacker. I think. Look, I'll just ask you, when's the last time you noticed the Saints linebacker besides DeMario Davis?
Yeah, yes. Fair. Okay, yes. Question answered.
So,
Nick Underhill every Tuesday, right here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Always. Nick
Thank
Underhill,
you, Nick.
compliments of former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette as he breaks it down as good as anybody.
Yeah,
and
I
if you
guess
are not,
you're right. Like, when is Anzalone flashed
Seriously.
at all?
That's a great way to put it. I mean, if he just comes in and gives you any production, he's an upgrade, right?
Yeah.
We'll close at hour 2 next.
Off the bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Daily here, we're brought to you by Donaldsonville Glass and Body, dgbauto.com. Remember, online at Donaldsonville Glass and Body, if you can get to, if you've been in an accident and you need collision repair, Donaldsonville Glass and Body is ready for you today. Online, dgbauto.com, been around for over 40 years. They can help you with windshield repair. They can help you with tires, alignment, collision repair. Online, dgbauto.com. Don't forget about the 24-hour towing. It is up to you who tows your vehicle from a collision site, from an accident site to the repair shop. Remember, Donaldsonville Glass and Body offers 24-hour towing, and they can get you right with that collision shop online, dgbauto.com.
Yes, the towing from the accident site that Jordy's talking about, that's free. So they will tow it for free to the shop. They will then fix it for you, and then they will tow it back and drop it off to you for free. Convenience of the highest order, and the quality of the work is second none. They are the best body shop in the state to put that on anything. Oil change, inspect sticker, they do it all. DonaldsonGlassandBody.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
What do Honda lovers look forward to this time of year? Aside from family, turkey, and pie, happy Honda Days at Richard's Honda. It's that time of year when everything is at clearance prices. And since we're stocked up on inventory, you'll have plenty to choose from. Over 700 in stock at transparent prices. Happy Honda Days makes happy customers. Come see why people call Richard's Honda the smart choice. I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We'll have the latest on LSU Bama as it pertains to COVID. Also, Larry Holder joins us, and we'll chat with Rohan Davey. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Coy's Diesel brings you off the bench. Remember, online, coysdiesel.com. If you drive a light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck, Coy is ready for you today as they can get you back up on the road and moving. Coy and the crew ready for you. coysdiesel.com, located on Airline Highway in Gonzales. As they've got great experience, great service shop, online, coysdiesel.com. Hour 3 OTB OT, what's coming up, T? Whoa.
We have a few things coming up. It is Tuesday, so we closed the book on the NFL week that was. We'll go result by result, give you our thoughts. Gonna do a little.
What the hell's going on over there? It looks like Best Buy. What are you, computer repair shop?
Breakdown. I am trying. You did get it? I'm trying to figure out for this third hour.
Can we play sound and
how to play?
Surface? Is that what y'all just thumbs up?
Let's not roll into this live. That's what we just talked about. We will figure this out
I'm
during
just
the break.
more pissed off if this is possible. I mean, I've changed my computer.
But yeah. So I got a lot of computers. I got 3 computers in front of me, and it's all to be able to play Chris Sims and Mike Florio being whiny little 10-ply toilet paper soft baby boys about Saints fans calling them out for being super wrong on Saints Bucks. Also, listening to the dejection in Florio's voice as he tries to explain why the Bucks failed so hard is fantastic. So we'll get to that next hour. I got a lot of Saints thoughts on this game after reading guys like Jeff Duncan and Nick Underhill that we'll get into as well. And we'll probably sneak in some video game talk at the end, given that
A Contra?
Well, I would like to, if you're out there listening and you have a Series X or you have a PS5, if you could get in the chat, hit me up on Twitter. I just want to hear your kind of day one reviews. What do you think about the systems? How are they going? Obviously, I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla or something just came out today.
So PS5 comes out today?
Yeah, so get your wallet ready, bro. PS5 and Xbox Series X.
He told me he wanted PS4.
But PS4, there's no real reason to buy next gen yet today. There's not a lot of games out for them, a lot of things you're going to take advantage of, but kids do love being at the cutting edge. And so Chris is right around the corner. He's probably going to be asking for these for one of them, either an Xbox Series X or a PS5. PS4 has been out since 2013. What?
Look at that.
Wait, what? What is this?
You Googling something? Is that your
No.
image?
This is Danny. This is Danny's. I don't know what Danny's showing me. What are you showing me here, Danny?
Sony has confirmed.
PS5 releases the 12th, not today.
Okay, not today. So the 12th. Okay, so 2 days. But I did have a friend. So if you got a Series X, then I guess today Microsoft is out today, and then any Assassin's Creed Valhalla stuff I want to hear because I'm torn. Right, Valhalla's coming out. Game looks pretty awesome. Assassin's Creed probably hasn't sucked me into Assassin's Creed 2, but the flip side of that is Cyberpunk 2077 is right around the corner. I only have so much time, so probably touch on that as well. But mainly Saints and NFL.
All right, I'm going to see Dr. Burnham.
You need to. It looks like your back's killing you.
Have a good Tuesday.
Y'all have a great day. Or you have a great day. We'll see you next.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Speaking of Dr. Burnham, he's over at Oshner Sports Medicine. He heads that program over here in Baton Rouge. Great Sports Medicine Institute over with Oshner. State-of-the-art facility and MRI. Remember, MRI, physical therapy, surgery, it can all be done under one roof. Stop in and see Dr. Burnham and his crew today here in Baton Rouge or in Covington or in New Orleans. All locations with state-of-the-art facilities. Online, Oshner.org.
Oshner.org. Oshner.org. Bottom line, man, so if you have any injury problems, go check out Oshner, okay? They have the best and most advanced non-surgical techniques. Their physical therapy centers are, and I've spent a lot of time in these rooms, they are as good as you will find anywhere in the country, as advanced as you will find anywhere in the country, both in terms of equipment and personnel. And if you have to have surgery, nowhere better. But how about just trying to get bigger, stronger, faster? Check out Oshner Performance Training, North Shore, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, doesn't matter. Go to Oshner.org.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 82. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up on OTB-OT, we have our NFL Roundup Week 9 recap and more talk of the Saints' 38-3 victory over the Bucs from Sunday. Follow today's show on Twitter at OTB_ESPN. Watch live over at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Get inside the Bayou 4 chat. And make sure you subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime channels. Set your notifications. New content posted daily. OTB-OT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome in Off the Bench, OTB-OT, hour number 3. I feel like I have a full control console here. I've got 3 computers in front of me, and they're really accomplishing nothing. But it looks impressive nonetheless, and I feel a bit like Batman, so I'm going to try to channel that energy into a good hour. In terms of trying to get these Florio and Sims videos, we are still working on that. A lot of great conversation going in about the new Xboxes, the new PS5s. We'll get to that a bit later in this hour. As we said, we got our NFL wrap-up coming up next, as we do. I wish my kids were a little older so I could justify to my wife that we need one of these new consoles, like maybe for Christmas or something. Instead, I will likely just continue to play a 15-year-old video game called WoW Classic. Yeah, so no new consoles for your boy just yet. Maybe wait a year or something before I get in there. But I still love it, and I love looking at it all from outside looking in. We talked a lot about LSU today and whether or not this game will be played. I don't want to talk about that too much more. I will say this, though. If it is played, I hope LSU truly embraces the underdog philosophy, right? Like, you may get your ass kicked even harder going for things that you normally wouldn't, trying things that you normally wouldn't. But, like, what's the difference in drowning in 10 feet of water versus 15 feet of water? You're drowned all the same, right? So what does it matter? Does it matter that Bruce Arians kicked a field goal to go 38-3, or should he try to score a touchdown? Right? I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, so be aggressive, willing to do things you normally wouldn't. The bottom line is you cannot beat Alabama straight up, so you have to be willing to get outside of that box. And this is all just me advocating for my dream, which is the LSU to randomly come out as a Jontre Kirkland triple option team, which will never happen. But what I really want to get into this hour to start is this New Orleans Saints game, because the further that you get away from this game and the more that people are able to dissect this film, and admittedly I have not been able to. We don't have the all 22 from NFL.com that you can get, which is actually a great deal. But the more I read, Holder and Duncan and Underhill, I just cannot help but be so impressed with what you saw out of this New Orleans Saints team. And it's at every level, right? It's on the line of scrimmage, it's in the middle, it's in the back when you're talking about the defensive secondary or the wide receivers. It's on the coaching staff. And really, I want to start with Sean Payton, because when you go back and you look at that game, one thing that he did, and Nick wrote extensively about this on New Orleans on Football, and it's fascinating, is how he decided to employ personnel groupings this last game. And I can't get away, a lot of times when I'm talking about football, I can't get away from these boxing analogies, right? Where a lot of times offense and play calling can feel a bit like a fighter. You're kind of jabbing, you're hooking, you're feinting. Maybe you're trying to establish some tendencies that you later break with like a big haymaker type of shot. You constantly want to disguise your attacks, though, so they don't know where it's coming from. Well, how about this? The Saints used 18 different personnel groupings this last game. And look, there's no one way to skin a cat, right? One of the great advantages of like the LSU national champions last year is that they only really needed one personnel grouping. It was their 11 personnel that had Thad Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and the three big receivers, and you just let it ride. And that has its own advantage. You can play with super fast tempo. You don't allow the other team to sub. There's a lot to be had there. The Saints, though, employing the polar opposite technique, used 18 different personnel groupings. And then where it truly gets masterful and truly gets so confusing, if you think about it from the terms of you are an opponent trying to play defense against this team, not only are the groupings constantly different, so you can't really get a tell of what they're going to do, but how about this? Think about the guys that can play multiple positions, right? You can line up Alvin Kamara running back. You can line up a wide receiver. You can line up Taysom Hill anywhere on the field. Deontay Harris continues to be a weapon no matter how you use him. And so not only do you have an offense where the faces are constantly shifting, but even the faces that you recognize, their roles are constantly shifting. So how do you know what to defend? How do you guess what the Saints are going to hit you with? And that was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? It was quite literally, go back to our fighter analogy, it was like they never saw where the punches were coming from. They're expecting a hook. They're getting jabbed. They're leaning in. They think they got a big shot. They're catching an uppercut to the jaw. That's what it felt like all night long. And so much of that started with Sean Payton and a masterful game plan, masterfully executed and masterfully called. We talked about it on Monday's show, but I mean, just look at the first drive, right? The tendency breakers, having Hill throw that ball. Nick Underhill broke down the passing concept. I love the touchdown to Traquan Smith where it looks like 100% you're going to run that screen to Alvin Kamara, a little tunnel screen after you motion him out, kind of get everybody focused on him. And so Sean Payton, take a bow. And I know that he was upset after game number one, feeling that he did not put his best foot forward against Tampa in that first game. And if you think back, the play calling and the offense was very stilted that game. This game was anything but. And how could you not, if you're talking about a varied and confusing attack that's multiple in so many different ways, how could you not talk about Taysom Hill? Was this the best Swiss Army knife Taysom Hill game ever? I mean, I know the Vikings playoff loss probably stands out. He did a lot there as well. But in terms of a 19-yard pass, 7 carries for 54 yards, a 21-yard catch, how he affects the defense just in terms of the amount of focus that he demands and how they try to react to him, right? They see him line up in 3rd and 3 in shotgun, they go to zero coverage. And then you break that tendency, and he's able to throw it. So a great job by Taysom Hill. And then on the opposite side of the ball, to me, this game felt so. Remember how with LSU, they kick the hell out of South Carolina, then they fall completely flat on their face against Auburn. Offensively, what was the biggest deciding factor between those two performances? Right? I mean, TJ Finley played both games. To me, it was the offensive line, and we've talked about that. The O-line played their best game against South Carolina. Everything worked because of it. They played their worst game against Auburn. Nothing worked because of it. Well, the Saints defensively were that exact same relationship between line and success in this Tampa Bay game. The defensive line dominated. 3 sacks, 9 quarterback hits. And I'm going to mention pressures here. And look, pressures will vary from one site to another, right? Nick charted his pressures. PFF charts theirs. But listen to some of these numbers. So David Onyemata, on top of having a pick, David Onyemata had 10 pressures in this Tampa Bay game. And you want to talk about how to be a winning football team, how to shut down any elite quarterback, it is being able to get home with 4. And the key to being able to get home with 4 is truly on the interior. Because if you can't get interior pushed, and I don't care how good your edge rushers are, Tom Brady will just step up. Why couldn't he step up? because the Saints were in his face. So you have David Onyemata, who not only has a pick, who's not only providing interior pressure to then help out Hendrickson and Jordan and Davenport off of the edge, but he also had 10 pressures himself. And then how about Trey Hendrickson? What is he, third in the league now in sacks? On pace for 15.5? It used to be the Trey Hendrickson double-digit sack dream. Now it's the Trey Hendrickson 15 sack dream. But when you look, PFF, if you want to follow a great account on Twitter, PFF Saints, if you're a Saints fan, is very satisfying. But Trey Hendrickson has 9 pressures himself, a 91.7 pass rush grade, a 28% pass rush win rate, which means that he is winning his rep nearly 30% of the time, which is very hard to do. But how about this? Just to give you some context, because those are just numbers. That is the highest grade of any NFL edge rusher, any NFL edge rusher on Sunday Night Football this year. So, like, we got to start putting some respect on Trey Hendrickson's name. I get it. He's not Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan's an all-decade team member. He's not even Marcus Davenport. Just from, like, a physical standpoint, Marcus Davenport is an absolute monster. Like I said, you watch Marcus Davenport, you know he looks freaky. Trey doesn't look like that. He doesn't even wear gloves. It's like the ultimate blue-collar move. But you know what he does do? He produces consistently. And at a certain point, I don't care what your intangibles are, how impressive you look to the naked eye, the production is what ultimately matters. So put some respect on Taysom Hill's name. He is playing like a top 5 pass rusher, not only like the Saints, but in the entirety of the NFL, and that is not an exaggeration. And then while we're on the defensive line, of course, Cam and Marcus Davenport maybe not getting the most gaudy of stats, no, like 10 pressures or 9 pressures, the big sacks, but the consistent pressure that they apply to the quarterback's psyche, to the offensive line psyche, and just consistent pressure they apply off the edge makes everything work. So really, you had a great, you had very multiple great symbiotic interactions between this defense's last game. Onyemata on the inside helping the edge, the hedge helping the inside, having them step up into him. The overall pass rush, being able to get home with 4 means you can drop more guys into coverage. Speeding up Tom Brady's clock makes the coverage better. Why did he throw 3 picks? Because of the pressure. So when the line looks better, the secondary looks better, everything works. And for whatever reason, the Saints defensive line is in Tampa's head. Like, I don't expect this to be week in and week out, but they will be better than they looked for a lot of the first half of this season. When you look at how guys continue to evolve, right? Sheldon Rankins goes down. David Onyemata gets a greater workload. He is taking advantage. The emergence of Marcus Davenport has added that missing element that pushes you over the line. Other things that I like from Sunday's game. How about Adam Troutman, the rookie tight end? Speaking of PFF Saints, he had a 90.6 grade on 29 snaps, 89 grade when it comes to catching the ball, 75 run block grade, which is impressive given how young he is and how kind of tall and thin he is. 3 targets, 3 catches, 39 yards, and a score. Adam Troutman, it's weird. I wonder how much of an impact player he could become this season, because he looks like even more so than Jared Cook, exactly what Drew Brees has been missing at that tight end position for years. That throw and catch of the touchdown was beautiful. Danny, if they show the end zone replay of that right there for our YouTube watchers, the window that Drew Brees throws this into is unreal. But then Troutman has to go make him right, and he did that. It's kind of sad, though, right? How long will Troutman and Brees have developed this relationship? It may just be this year, but I wonder if this second half of the season down the stretch, he can't become more impact player. We'll have to wait and see. So overall, when you look at Sunday, it was pure domination. It was the Saints showing up and establishing that we are NFL Super Bowl contenders, and a lot of it was due to Sean Payton and his masterful game plan, perfectly executed by Brees in the offense, and then that Saints defensive line just kicking ass and making life so much easier for the rest of that defense and Dennis Allen. And you're never going to do it like that, as you know, you're not going to play to that level every week. But if you can continue to land in that range, continue to move towards that direction, then those are the elements that you need to win in the playoffs. And the Saints are starting to display those. So exciting times if you're a New Orleans Saints fan. All right, when we get back, let's go ahead and dive into the NFL as a whole, as we will close the book on the week that was, kind of look at where everything stands. And we'll do that next here on OTBOT.
OTB OT. Off the Bench, Hanging with Esther and Annie, After Further Review, and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time. We're live from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street beginning at 6 p.m. So come see us and have some world-class steak or listen here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, welcome back, OTBOT. Great nerdy conversation going on in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, which I love. A lot of talk about these new generations versus the new video cards. It's supposed to be pretty awesome. I would love a gaming PC. It's just the barrier of entry is too high. It's impossible to convince my wife to want to dedicate enough money to make a good gaming PC. So rip. Like I said, it's just my stupid daughters were older, so I could use them as excuses to buy all of this stuff. One day they will be. All right, so right now, let's go ahead and let's dive in, as we do every weekend. Look at our NFL scoreboard. Go around the room what you thought your big takeaways were from week 9 of the NFL. That's right. We officially, so when you transferred, when you moved from the early games to the afternoon games on Sunday, you actually moved past the official halfway point of the NFL season, which we should probably stop for a second and give thanks. Yes, There's nobody in the crowd. It's been a bit odd in a lot of ways, but football felt threatened for a while, and we've gotten it, and the product's been really good, and the league is very exciting right now. It's great young quarterback play everywhere, tight races all over the place. I mean, who is the favorite in the NFC right now? That's the thing. It's wide open.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Like even as much as I love this,
teams.
even as much as I love the Saints right now, their own inconsistencies that they've shown makes it too hard to think about them as a runaway favorite. Green Bay would fall under that same sort of descriptor.
Seahawks would fall under that same descriptor as well.
So would obviously Tampa, right? And then you look at the AFC.
That feels
I mean,
like
it still
Chiefs.
feels like
that
Chiefs.
That feels like Chiefs Steelers.
It feels like,
honestly.
I don't even think it feels like Steelers. I think it feels like Chiefs. But you still have the Steelers there at 8-0. I think the Titans are too weak in important areas to be able to make too much playoff noise. But I guess the overall point is, outside of the Chiefs, things feel pretty wide open. Like, I know the Steelers are 8-0. I still don't necessarily trust them not to blow it into playoff situations. They've played so many close games. I feel like something's going to catch up with them eventually. Or maybe it doesn't because they just know how to win. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. On Thursday, things got kicked off. Packers 34, 49ers 17. Nothing much to say here. Niners are decimated by injury. Aaron Rodgers did Aaron Rodgers things. Packers win. They needed it after getting that ass kicked by the Vikings the week before.
Yep. Sounds great.
The Texans on Sunday. Texans 27, Jaguars 25. A battle of 1-6 AFC South teams. They're in this year where much is unprecedented and much is unfamiliar. There was something wonderfully and warmly familiar about a completely useless AFC South matchup at noon on a Sunday. That said, it ended up being a pretty exciting game. Were y'all into Jake Luton? Does Jake Luton, who played quarterback for the Jags and ended up throwing for over 300, does he represent the end of the Minshew mania?
I know nothing about what happened in that football game. I paid no attention to two 1-6 teams playing football.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I guess I just watched him because I'm a big Gardner Minshew guy, but I don't know how long Gardner Minshew is as for a starter in the NFL. I mean, it's obviously not happening in Jacksonville now with Luton playing well. They named Luton again to be the starter this weekend for the Packers. So we'll see where Minshew ends up going. I hope that he gets another chance somewhere.
Do you think Lawrence ends up in
New York?
Jets or
the Jets?
Jags?
The Jets. You think the Jets? Yeah, the Jets are not going to hold on to Sam Darnold over Trevor Lawrence.
I'm saying the Jags. You think Jags are going to get the first pick, or
no? They screwed up. They rode Minshew to beating Indianapolis. The Jets will not win a game. The Jets are making. No, they're not, dude. No, they're not. They're going to go 0-16. The Jets are horrible. The Jets are worse than that 0-16 Lions team.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'm actually not even really basing that off anything. I just said that, but it sounds right. So everybody should just accept that as fact.
But are they worse than the 0-16 Cleveland Browns team?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. You're going to have to dive into the numbers on that one. New York Giants 23, Washington football team 20. Another loss for me in the Degeneration Dome. Tried to back the Washington football team. Playing quarterback for Washington is not a good business. You will get your leg snapped. Kyle Allen has a pretty nasty injury. He dislocates his leg, breaks it as well. And, it's whatever. It's Giants Washington. Giants win. I forgot the golden rule in the NFC East, which is the worst team will win in order to make sure that everybody's records are as bad as possible.
Alex Smith threw a touchdown pass in that game. That was cool.
There you go. He did throw a touchdown pass in that game.
That's the extent of it.
Yeah. What are the NFC East standings after this?
I think
Wow.
the Eagles still have the lead.
So with the loss, Washington's now 2-6. The Cowboys checking behind them at 2-7, and the Giants are 2-7 as well. The Eagles at 3-4-1 have a commanding lead in the NFC East. That's unbelievable. Ravens 24, Colts 10. Big win for Lamar and company. People are a bit down on Lamar Jackson, but hey, the Ravens are still winning. They like we said, they're maybe not among the elite of the elite, but they are better than 3/4 of the league. This game proves that. I'm not sure about the Colts. We've been asking if they're real or not. They haven't really beaten anybody. They have nice elements that you like. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna make any noise in the playoffs. But like everybody else, I just thoroughly enjoyed Phillip Rivers snow angeling on the ground and giving like the laziest old man tackle effort that I've ever seen.
What I learned from that game is that Phillip Rivers throws back-breaking interceptions even when, in fact, he doesn't throw back-breaking interceptions.
I mean, it wasn't even a pick six that he was trying to tackle. It was a fumble.
I'm just talking about the interception that they ruled an interception that was definitely not an interception. He can't catch a break. Poor Phillip Rivers.
The Colts are still 6-3, though.
Yeah, nice win for the Ravens.
They're going to get tested. They're on the road at Tennessee, and then play Packers, and then play Titans again.
I think.
Yeah, wait, the Colts, did I hear this on PMT? They have some really weird thing where, so they will play, look up their schedule, and they play the Titans, and who's the other team?
Packers, and then the Titans again, then Texans, Raiders.
Then Texans, Raiders, and Texans again. So 4 out of the next 6 weeks will be Titans and Texans for them. So it's kind of two sides of a coin there. You have the too good, too bad. See what the Colts can do with it.
It's fair now to say that through the halfway point of the season, the passing numbers we saw from Lamar Jackson early on were fool's gold.
Yeah. Yeah, wait, where's that sound coming from?
Just a video started playing on the ESPN page.
Okay, I thought for sure like the Surface was finally working or something. I was about to freak out. Okay.
Not that.
Vikings 34, Lions 20. Are the Vikings good?
Dude, they're riding Dalvin Cook right now.
I'm so confused.
He has had back-to-back weeks of well over 200 yards from scrimmage. Without him, they are nothing.
Yeah, but now like Justin Jefferson's coming along, Adam Thielen's getting the kind of like Cousins and the receivers are starting to figure things out a bit. They're 3-5. I still don't. I mean, look, everybody's in play for the wild card now because there's an extra one. I'm not saying the Vikings are going to make it, but the Vikings are kind of shocking me these last couple weeks. You're right, Dalvin Cook is the key, but like I don't know, man. It'd be interesting to see how frisky they get.
They go on the road at Chicago for next game.
Well, that's a win. Because the Bears
that's going to be a pillow
are
fight.
Horrible.
Their defense pretty salty.
That's what I'm saying.
But their offensive ineptitude is so extreme
that
it makes up for anything their defense can do.
But if they bottle up Dalvin Cook, they have a shot.
Exactly.
Titans 24, Bears 17. How'd they do bottling up Derrick Henry? They actually probably did pretty well.
21 carries, 68 yards.
I was going to say. Again, it doesn't matter, though. That's the point. They bottled up Derrick Henry.
But they had a shot. They
bottled
lost
up
by
Derrick
7
Henry,
points.
and they couldn't beat them. Was it really that close, though?
I don't know.
I didn't watch this game, but I thought the accepted kind of narrative on this game is that it was never really that
they
close.
scored all 17 points in the fourth quarter.
There you go.
But
I mean, here's the deal, though. It's like you bottled up Derrick Henry, and you still weren't even really close to beating the Titans. Come on. What are we doing here, dude?
Titans are better than the Vikings, though.
That's fair. I think Vikings win. So y'all think Bears win?
That's not what I said. I said the Bears have a shot.
Gonna make fun of you next week when I'm right. The only things for Bears-Titans are nothing really. The Bears couldn't even take advantage of the worst third down defense in the entire NFL. Chiefs 33, Panthers 31. Speaking
this was a really good game.
Being a little sexy, a little like underappreciated, maybe underrated. This Panthers team, there's some fighters, dude. So shout out to Matt Rule, Joe Brady, and Teddy Bridgewater and company, because they're not that good on like a roster basis, but they fight you till the very end. They ran old boy out there to try to kick a 67-yarder this time, which I'm kind of down for.
Had
do whatever.
The leg.
Like mathematically, what do you have a better chance of? Hitting that or hitting a Hail Mary? Maybe Hail Mary because that kick's never been hit before, but it's got to be hit eventually, right?
Those odds would probably be very close. I was thinking that too. But no surprise, right? Carolina's offense looks really, really good with Christian McCaffrey back in the lineup.
And watch out now. Joe Brady is gaining a lot of hype for head coaching jobs. I know that there are many Bears fans out there who are like, let's just hire Joe Brady. Screw it. Right? You got young minds getting hired kind of over. Like if the Cliff Kingsbury could open up, and he already has, but his continued success will really challenge some of the most core held beliefs when it comes to hiring practices of NFL coaches. And his success is great for someone like Joe Brady, whose potential meteoric rise could just, I don't know, continue, man. I really like Teddy Bridgewater.
300-yard game for Teddy Bridgewater. That 4th and 14 scramble.
Badass.
Man,
But nobody is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is your NFL MVP again. And it's obvious. And it's really not even close. Aaron Rodgers is probably the only one that's close. But he's a bum and a fraud, as y'all know by listening to the show. So
Patrick
it's all about
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
We are through 9 games. He has thrown 1 interception.
I know.
1.
And they're just, Bieniemy and Reed are just really flexing their creative muscles. We always talk about the screens that have like a million different parts moving in different directions. But that quarterback motion, which some people have tried to kind of dismiss as, and if you didn't see it, they have Mahomes kind of walk to one side like he was calling out calls. Then he starts to sprint to the other. He catches the ball mid-sprint. Then he plants, rolls out the opposite direction, and throws a touchdown. A lot of people have said that it was a bit gimmicky or like didn't really accomplish much. Nothing could be further from the truth. That accomplishes a lot. That completely freezes you as a defender. Not only because it's something you haven't seen before, but all of the misdirection, all the inaction. If you take one false step, Pat Mahomes will beat you. So when he starts wanting run direction, catches the snap that way, and you step that direction, you're already dead in the water. Look at it right here. It's fascinating, dude. And then of course all the action comes back the other way, wide open in the back of the end zone because the linebacker has no idea what's going on. I think it was Demarcus Robinson. Shout out Bieniemy and Reed, geniuses. Bills 44, Seahawks 34. Once again, big day for y'all, as y'all were way ahead of the curve on saying that the Seahawks may have been overrated. The defense is horrible. Russell Wilson has fallen back down to earth as well. Remember, he was the MVP after the first few weeks. Now Pat Mahomes clearly passed him up. But, really, on one hand, Seahawks are bad. Defense is bad. But this was a franchise statement win for the Bills. This sort of game, right? Normally the Bills go to 6-2 and you expect bad things to start happening, especially if you look at recent years. Like the Bills always feel like a franchise that can't handle too much success. So to be 6-2 coming off of a huge win over the Patriots and to go and do this to the Seahawks, hey, Bills making a statement. Notice we still didn't mention them in AFC contenders though.
No, because I still don't fully trust Josh Allen. He finally got his signature win this week, and it's a good one.
31-38, 415 through the air, 3 touchdowns.
4 total touchdowns. He had one on the ground as well. He was great, but the Seahawks do have a very bad defense, so I'm still not just fully trusting in him, but he gets credit for the signature win. He finally got one.
Falcons 34, Broncos 27.
Look now. But the Falcons are playing better football.
Yeah.
The defense still isn't that great.
Again, the Falcons should be 6-3. They lost 3 98% win games. So, I don't know what to like. They're a way better team than their record shows, which is good on one hand because it means that they've blown their chance at the playoffs maybe. On the other hand, though, it's maybe a bit worrying because you don't want them to remember the Saints are the 1 seed right now. You don't want them to get that blown by the Atlanta Falcons. Ugh.
The Broncos are also terrible.
They're not good.
They're
not good. I agree. They're a little scrappy in terms of fighting back at the end of the game. Their comeback in San Diego or against Los Angeles Chargers really nice.
They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Even in this game, did they have the ball when they were down 7 at the end?
I
can't remember if they got it back from an onside kick or not.
Falcons fans had to just be thinking, "Oh God, please not."
It kind of was going that direction for a minute. Raiders 31, Los Angeles Chargers 26.
The Raiders.
Yeah. The Chargers cannot get closer to winning a game without winning one. If you missed one on this, it looked like they had maybe thrown the final touchdown, and it was a really close review, right? Like almost all the angles made it look like he caught it, And then they found the one angle where clearly he dropped it. So Herbert throws a touchdown, everybody freaks out. They're all cheering, celebrating, goes to review. And then on the review, they lose the game because there's 0-0-0 left in the clock.
The Raiders could be looking at 3 wins in a row here. Broncos coming to Allegiant Stadium this weekend. So
what are they, 6-3
they're
now?
5-3 they might be 6-3 right now. I think they were 5-3. They're 5-3. Okay, 5-3. So that could put them at 6-3. 9-7. Now very much in play for the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hell, maybe even a little 10-6
Maybe.
action.
I mean, that definitely gets them in the playoffs.
They feel like a playoff team.
They felt like a playoff team for a very long time.
Which, credit to John Gruden if he pulls this off, right? The 10-year contract and everything. I know a lot of us rolled our eyes on it, but the franchise is improving. Here was a super exciting one. Dolphins 34, Cardinals 31. Kyler versus Tua in the desert. The young guns dueling. Kyler Murray running all over the place like a little halfling, like a beast. And then even though Kyler has the better game purely statistically, Tua looks like a legit NFL quarterback. And the improvement that he showed week 1 to week 2 is also something as a Dolphin fan that I would feel very excited about, very happy about. And then again, it is ultimately though the Dolphin, like Tua is the final piece to maybe make them a legit playoff team, but ultimately why the Dolphins are having so much success is everywhere else, right? And in this game, it was it Shaq Lawson on the from Clemson on the fumble return for a touchdown early on, I believe it was. So ultimately, though, it is the Dolphins in the other areas that helped them get across the finish line here, 34-31.
Did you see the field goal at the end of this game for the Cardinals that missed?
The Zane Gonzalez one? No.
I mean, it was a rocket off his foot, was dead center, looked like it was just money, and then just inexplicably
it fell
dropped
short, right?
short.
And it wasn't like a 48 or a 49 yarder.
Yes, and I mean when he kicked it, it shot off his fingers. Oh, it's dead center, it's money, and then it just somehow fell short.
God wanted Tua to win.
Yes,
God and Tua are tight. This is no. All right, let's hurry through the last few here. Steelers 24, Cowboys
really
19. Cowboys are just horrible, but the NFL's funny. And they somehow almost beat the 7-0 Pittsburgh Steelers with, who was their quarterback this week?
It was Garrett Gilbert. Remember him?
He went off.
No, not at all.
He was the guy who came in for Colt McCoy in the 2009 national championship game against Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And almost won that game.
Danny went off maybe a little. Okay, I'm about to say 21-38 for 243.
Big Ben on the COVID list currently right now too. That came out earlier.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, the chunk. But they're fine, dude. They're used to winning with Duck Hodges.
Yeah.
They can handle Ben missing a game or two.
Winning, they win 8-8.
Yeah, exactly.
With I guess it's fair.
Exactly.
That's
That's what I'm saying. You go 8-8 with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. Take a bow. That's more impressive than going 8-0 with this team. It is first time franchise history. The Steelers are 8-0. Saints 38, Buccaneers 3.
Yep.
We already know. I just wanted to read it again. And then last night, I actually didn't watch it in this game because I'm sorry, but the
terrible.
Jets just cannot drive me to the television right now. It just is what it is.
It was terrible.
Joe Flacco looked elite for the first quarter.
he really
His stat
did.
line
He
was
was kind of
actually
incredible.
nice, dude. Patriots 30, Jets 27. The Patriots
They're so
desperately
bad.
needed this one just for a little, just for feel good. Losing to the Jets.
Do you really come out of that game feeling good though? You were down 10 points going to the fourth quarter against a winless team.
Yeah,
who you've owned.
Exactly. I think it still feels better than losing to the Jets.
Yeah, I mean,
So you're right. You may not be
you don't
feeling
feel
good, but
about
you don't
if
feel
you're-
as bad.
That's fair, but you still don't feel good. They are a bad football
That's
team.
fair. Not good, but not as bad. All right, that is your NFL wrap up. When we get back, probably talk more video games. Off the bench, OTBOT.
OTB, OT.
000000. Hooters, your headquarters for football. That's right. This football season, you're wondering where you want to watch the big game. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't happen this weekend, but there's plenty of games on, and all the football's always on at Hooters. Why do you want to go there? The wings, the beer, the sports, the Hooters girls, the televisions, everything that you know and love. Go check out the Seagan Lane location renovations that took place last year. They're unbelievable. But it's not just going to Hooters, because during the pandemic, space can be limited, so still go try, right? But if you can't get in, why not bring Hooters to you? Download the Hooters app. You'll get a free appetizer when you do so. One of many food and drink deals to be found in that app. And also go to HootersToGo.com, right? You get your wings to fly delivered right there to your home. So it's game day. You don't worry about cooking. You don't worry about cleaning. You just worry about eating. Go to Hooters.com today. Hooters.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Our local nonprofits help build a thriving community for all, and now it's time for us to give back. So join us for 225 Gives on Giving Tuesday, December 1st, to build community and unite action. Learn more at 225gives.org.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richards Honda from noon to 3. Hunt Palmer comes in for his hour, and we'll also be joined by Chris Doring of the SEC Network and SiriusXM Radio. Join us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB OT. Emil Narude saying Chiefs defense is going to come back to bite them. Is the Chiefs defense bad, though? I mean, they're not great, but I don't think they're not like bad like the Seahawks or anything. They got Chris Jones. They got Tyrann Mathieu. Like,
they didn't play very well against the Panthers.
It doesn't matter, though. We're in the offensive era of football. You have to have a defense that is good enough, right? Ultimately, offense nowadays will decide whether or not you win the championship, which is why the Kansas City Chiefs won the championship last year, and it's why they should have won it really 2 years ago, if not for defensive linemen jumping off sides. Alex Anderson says Dabo takes the Jets job to go along with Trevor. Ooh, Trevor Lawrence and Dabo to the Jets. Can you imagine Opie. Can you imagine Dabo Swinney in New York?
No,
and the New York
can't imagine
media?
Dabo Swinney in the NFL.
That would be so fantastic. I mean, that would be unreal. I
don't really feel like Dabo's personality jives well with NFL professional athletes who get paid more than he does.
Emil raises a good counterpoint. Dabo might quit once he learns that players can make money off their likeness. like he said, that's where he draws the line. Even though it's cool for Dabo to make millions of dollars off of his sponsorships and his shoe deals and everything else.
Speaking of reasons Dabo would not do well in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly, right? Kalen says that Ogeron's playing with, I keep saying 4D chess. I want to change that. I need to come up with like a better term for doing something that is crazy but
so like
feels
3D
super
chess?
advanced. No, because 3D chess is, just normal chess. Also, like 4D chess, like what does that actually? It doesn't mean anything, and I've been overusing it. But that's the humor there. Kalen in the chat says, I think Ogeron gave them 4 days off after the horrible loss against Auburn because he didn't want to play Alabama. Knowing you give them 4 days off, they're going to go party, probably get COVID. Bam! Game canceled. While I appreciate that angle, it is normal during the bye week to get those days off. And the only reason there was a 4th day is because Tuesday they decided to have it as a mandatory day off so people would have time to go vote. Some people are, Ryan making a joke about LSU pushing Bo to get the Atlanta job. Yeah, if you can sell Bo Pelini to anybody that has football hiring decisions, then if you're not in sales, you absolutely should be, because you can sell ice to an Inuit, right? It's like when Jordy used to sell firewood in Louisiana during the summer. Like selling Bo Pelini to somebody else would be even tougher than that. As far as the video game takes goes, boys, what about y'all? Are y'all going to try to get on these new consoles at all? Try to finagle one out of like a family member, Christmas gift, anything along those lines?
Are they bringing back NCAA football?
I mean, longer term, potentially yes,
Well,
but
then
no,
I'll worry
not.
about it then.
Okay.
I don't want them to bring it back so I can sell my game at a like all-time price.
Yeah, wait. So Danny, have you been playing NCAA still?
No, I haven't still been playing it. This is a hot take, but I think
How much did
NCAA 06 is the best.
I agree with you. That's just the one that I played the most. How much did you pay for your NCAA when you got it?
$80. Wow. On eBay.
And then what's the market for it right now?
It's like 100 plus.
They're stupid. They're stupid.
100
brand new unopened is like $200 or like $300.
Wow, that is so fascinating, dude. The tail of that game has gone on to take. Okay, so neither of y'all though plan on getting PS5 or Xbox Series X or S?
I'll probably get it, like Xbox.
Do you know which one? Because look, there's a few different options. I kind of like so Xbox right now doesn't really care about you buying their console as much as they just want you to get into the Xbox ecosystem. Y'all heard of Xbox Game Pass?
Yes.
Muzu, you might be intrigued by this. So it's a flat rate every month, and they can actually tie it into your Xbox Live or whatever. And it's not a Netflix for game because you're not streaming the games, but it is like a Netflix games that you have access to a ton of games that you don't own, but you can download and play them, et cetera, right? So ultimately, I think Xbox views video games as going the streaming Netflix services sort of route. And so that's how they want to get you in. So you can buy the Xbox Series X, which is their new $500 console, really nice, big black monolith, the most technologically advanced if you care about 4K, 60 SPFs, or you go with the Xbox Series S, and this is $300. It will play the next-gen games at 60 FPS, not 4K, though, so you're not going to get the full fidelity, but it's only $300, and then they get you in that ecosystem, and they get Game Pass, all these other things. Like, I think that $300 deal is going to be super attractive for a lot of people around Christmas. I personally am a bit of a fidelity hooer. I can't get away from it. And so I don't know that I commit something that can't do 4K, but I think it's a really great option to include. And then on the PS5 side, you have a much more traditional sort of console launch, something that you're much more used to. And really the only difference there between the two PS5s is one plays discs and one does not. What about y'all? Are y'all still into discs? I am fully embraced the digital everything video game revolution. Like, for me, one of the coolest things ever is to be able to switch games without leaving my couch, because I used to hate that as a kid, and now you never have to. It's just all right there on the hard drive, although now hard drive space is becoming a problem.
I'm definitely a disc fan. Something about it, just I feel like it's like Like I paid money for it, so I want to hold it in my hands.
See, I don't know. I think I like digital ownership even more because then like you never have to keep up with the disc. I'll never lose it, nothing like that. And again, I can just sit there on my couch all day. Avo Marzwani and T-Bob, save up for a day of PC. It's not that bad. It is that bad. It's all that bad. The new video cards are nicely priced, but like monitors, everything else is just too much. It's just too much. Come play WoW Classic. All right, we got to go to break. Wrap up OTBOT next here on
OTB OT. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Hey T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We'll have the latest on LSU Bama as it pertains to COVID. Also, Larry Holder joins us, and we'll chat with Rohan Davey. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Wrapping up OTB OT. A lot of talk going on in the chat about PCs and whether or not you can get them for them, whatever. We'll have to wait and see. But hey, huge thank you to everybody who joined us today. Tuesdays are always a lot of fun. Big thank you to Coach Joe. Big thank you to Derek Stingley Sr. Big thank you to Nick Underhill. Always love talking to those guys. Danny Musso, y'all always do a wonderful job producing, talking NFL, everything else. Of course, all of the listeners, callers, tweeters, YouTubers, we love you. This show would not be fun at all without you. Y'all's conversations make it so much fun. And look, if you want to help us out, just like it, subscribe to 104.5 ESPN's YouTube channel, subscribe to Off the Bench's YouTube channel, and then the Off the Bench Overtime channel as well, which is growing, Danny. What are we, over 500 subscribers now? We're marching towards 1,000?
600 plus.
Okay, 600 plus, boys. Let's go. Help us hit that 1K. And we need to figure out how to stream video games out of this room one day, and hopefully we will. But for now, I will leave you on this Tuesday. I will be recording a new episode of the 4 Mandalore podcast tonight, so be on the lookout for that. Me and Brody will do our new Hold That podcast episode whenever the status of the game is finalized, so be on the lookout for that as well. It's Off the Bench. See you tomorrow.
OTB OT.
What do Honda lovers look forward to this time of year? Aside from family, turkey, and pie, happy Honda Days at Richard's Honda. It's that time of year when everything is at clearance prices. And since we're stocked up on inventory, you'll have plenty to choose from. Over 700 in stock at transparent prices. Happy Honda Days makes happy customers. Come see why people call Richard's Honda the smart choice. I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees